In charge of supply chain.
Good morning. I'm Sheila Ahome in the Office of Cherry Fund.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angeline Dambuki. I'm in charge of operations and production. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Kedinch from Meru Branch, manager there.
Mjambo wakulima na nyote. Naitwa Amiani Viscount, niko idara ya teknolojia ICT ukipenda. Asante.
Let us appreciate the representation of our management team. I know the commissioner will have an opportunity to introduce himself later, but for purposes of introduction, Commissioner, you're here with some people from the Ministry of Cooperatives. If you don't mind, you can just introduce them.
Wakulima na viongozi wa kahawa, hamjamboni? Hamjamboni tena? Naitwa David Obonyo, Commissioner for Cooperatives. Na pia niko na maafisa kutoka Wizara ya Cooperatives na MSME. Tafadhali mahali mko msimame. Wa kwanza anaitwa Kenneth Otaji. Tuko na Morris, tuko na Mariam, na tuko na Scholastica Ndivo. Asante sana.
Let us appreciate our ministry. Unajua wakulima tuliamini Mungu atatupatia ministry yetu ya cooperatives na MSME na Mungu akajibu maombi, and we want to appreciate Commissioner and the work we are doing at the ministry. Allow me to, I know we have the Office of the Deputy President. We'll get an opportunity, Eric, to introduce yourself, but for purposes of introduction, you can just say your name as we go to introduce the rest.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Mimi naitwa Eric Washira. I work in the Office of the Deputy President, and I'm glad to be here with you. His Excellency is championing the reforms, fully behind you, our VIPs. And we want to make sure that moving forward, Wahi Kenya, wakulima mbele. No two things about it. There's no other discussion. There's no conversation there. Wakulima mbele. You are VIPs, and we must give you that respect and hold you in that space. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for the ideas, and looking forward to the conversation. Tupatieni ideas, tusaidieni, tuonyeshe ni wapi mnataka tuchenge na tufanye nini na nini, so that moving forward kila kitu iko straight. Thank you very much.
Let us appreciate Washira. Professor, you can say hi to people. Professor is the father of these coffee reforms. Amesukuma hii gurudumu since 2016.
Director of the new KBCU, your board members, wakulima wenzangu, mjambo tena. Thank you for coming, and I'm really delighted, well, the chairman, my good friend. At least the farmers are consulted, because I had one of my core belief is that coffee belongs to the farmers, and any policy direction has been taken, that consultative activity has to take place. Thank you.
Let us appreciate Professor Ken. Our counties are here. We invited all the 33 counties, and we want to see how many came. I think Waziri, you'll allow me to introduce you as the county representatives from the government side after your farmers, because you must make sure your farmers are here. I want to start with the estate farmers. Tuliwaita wakulima wetu estate farmers. Our estate farmers from Nyeri, if you can stand. Are we here, estate farmers from Nyeri? Let us appreciate. Mr. Gitonga, that's you. Thank you for coming. Kirinyaga, estate farmer from Kirinyaga. Gerald, you're here? Oh, let us appreciate him. Thank you for coming. Embu? Muko, wasalimieni. Embu estate farmers. Is Lucy there? Thank you for coming. We have Homa Bay County. Asante sana, let us appreciate him. Kericho. Ako ndio yule, asante kwa kukuja. We have Nakuru. Asante sana, let us appreciate him. Thank you. Kiambu. Thank you, asante Kiambu. Thank you for coming. Muranga. Thank you so much for coming. Machakos. Mayakos. Estate farmer. Oh, wako pale nyuma. Asanteni sana kwa kukuja. Trans Nzoia, led by our director. Trans Nzoia County Estate Farmers, thank you very, very much for coming. Meru Estate Farmers, the great county of Meru, thank you. Uasin Gishu, asante. Those are the farmers that came, estate farmers from those counties. Now we go to our great movement. What your cooperative movement? Oh yeah. Thank you. We have Mudheka Farmers Cooperative. Thank you, Chairman. Keferegwe from Kirinyaga. Keferegwe, did you come? Oh, thank you, Keferegwe. Asanteni sana, Chairman. Central Gandori from Embu. Asante, Chairman. Karema FCS. Marani, Karema, Kemera, sorry. Kemera, thank you. Marani, farmers from Kisii, asante sana. Sasuri from Mount Elgon, where are you? Hawajafika, wanakuja. Kapkoin, asante Kapkoin. Kibukwo, asante. Mutungati from Nakuru. They are on their way coming. Asante sana. Igerania from Kiambu. Asante sana. Derereka, Kiambu. Chairman wa Derereka, thank you so much. Rakoi. Asante. Let us appreciate them. Dangaine from Muranga, Dangaine, Santi, tushukuru Chairman kwa kukuja. Kambusu from the great county of Machakos, thank you Chairman. New Mitaboni, Machakos, asante. We have Kikima, again from Machakos. Kikima, asante. We have Ndagani, mko wapi? Asante. Vima, asante. Tigania North, thank you very much. Kiegusha, asante Chairman. Kidangari, thank you Chairman. Kaliati, thank you. Let us appreciate him. Do not be weary of doing good. Kibisi, thank you Chairman. Kiungani, thank you very much. Kutere, asante, thank you. Baringo Cha Coffee Mills. Oh, thank you Chairman for coming all the way from Baringo. You've done a good job. So those are the farmers we invited, and we have 100% representation. I also want to recognize the presence of the National Coffee Cooperative Union. The National Coffee Cooperative, oh sorry, kuna mkono pale sijasoma mmoja. Oh, yes. Busia Robusta. Let us appreciate our Robusta farmers. Yes, our country has not been known for Robusta and they've taken that head on. Thank you for coming. Anybody else? Yes? Bungoma. Oh, which society do you come from? Yeah, hiyo iko kwa list ya National Coffee Cooperative Union. Ndio naenda kusoma. Yes? Oh, Migori. Let us appreciate the people of Migori. Thank you for coming. Anybody else who is outside the invitation of the NACU? Kisumu. Let us appreciate Kisumu. West Pokot. Let us appreciate them. We have some very vibrant societies in West Pokot. Yes, Chairman? Kakamega. Let us appreciate them. There's a hand? Yes, yes. Elgeyo Marakwet. Mkindo ulikaa na watu ya Baringo mpaka ukajua wa Baringo. Elgeyo Marakwet in the house. Oh, yes, our chairman from Nyeri, chairman. Yes, thank you. Let us appreciate him. Yes. Bomet. Angelina mkunipatia the most comprehensive list. Kila mtu alikuja. Bomet County, let us appreciate them. Yes. Mkuyuni Farmers, Machakos. Sijui wengine wako kwa hii list ya NACU. Because from NACU we have a long list I wanted to read, if you allow me. Then if you are not in this list. Oh, there is a hand there. Vihiga. Thank you. Thank you. Allow me to read this list. If you are not here, then we will recognize you. So we have the National Coffee Cooperative Union that is registered by the State Department for Cooperative. Kiambu Union, if you can stand, the board members of Kiambu Union, Kiambu Cooperative Union. Let us appreciate this union. This is a union that is already selling coffee at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange, and we really thank you for the work you're doing. Meru, the members of Meru Cooperative Union. Thank you, Chairman. Let us appreciate the Meru Cooperative Union. This is the one union that has been trading coffee for a long time alone as a cooperative in the Nairobi Coffee Exchange, and they really encouraged the other farmers to join them. It is because of their good work that the other unions have joined. Bungoma Union. Let us appreciate Bungoma Union. Thank you, Chairman, and your team for the good work you're doing in Bungoma. Baringo Union. Na Elgeyo Marakwet pia simamia hapo. Thank you, Baringo Union. Let us appreciate them. Baringo Union. Muranga Cooperative Union representatives. Let us appreciate these union members. Asante Muranga. Machakos Cooperative Union. Mr. Katingima and your team, thank you very much. We have Mount Elgon, Mzee Mamboleo and your team. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing your members. Kipkelion Cooperative Union. Let us appreciate Kipkelion. Nandi Cooperative Union. Wapi watu ya Nandi? Hawajafika. Thank you. Embu Cooperative Union. Thank you, board members of Embu. Let us appreciate the people of Embu. Gusii Cooperative Union. Gusii farmers. Let us appreciate them. This union represents Kisii and Nyamira County, and they are doing a good work. I want to recognize the executives of the National Coffee Cooperative Union. Maybe they can stand, the team that has been supporting the formation and making sure that NACU is a strong institution. I can start with the chairman. Let me just go to the list here. Mr. Ngone, our director. Oh, thank you, Chairman. We have Mr. Katingima, who is the treasurer. We have Mr. Majao, who is the honorary secretary. We have Mr. Babu, who is a board member. And we have the CEO, Lucy Murumba. And we have Madam Karaka from Muranga. Thank you, executive members of the National Coffee Cooperative Union. Is there any cooperative society that we have not recognized and you're here? Thank you. Allow me to recognize our counties. Waziri, you have seen the farmers are here. You have identified your members are here. So let us have the county government official so that we can give an
Asante sana Esther. Good morning everyone. Habari za wakulima na watu wa Nairobi. Mimi naitwa Kirigai Wakamau. I come from Muranga and I'm also the chair of the caucus of the CECs for the CEREB region, Central Region Economic Bloc. And my business is to make sure that we work very closely with everyone so that we can benefit the most from our agriculture. I am here to tell you that I have spoken to a few of the CECs. They are far and wide. Nyeri just called me, they're in Machakos, and they are discussing the same matters that we are discussing. It's only me who actually had to request that I be allowed. But I had told my union people yesterday, because they were meeting, that I may not be available because I had not received the invitation. Then when I was checking my phone, the invitation had arrived. So I must say that I'm really happy to be here and to say that the agenda that we started, and I am sure Professor Kea, who has been with me on this journey for quite some time, agrees that this is the ultimate of what we were looking forward to. And to have new KPCU driving an agenda that is supported very heavily by all the other ministries that support cooperatives in agriculture. It is really an honor to stand here and say that this is a journey that we must fight together and win. And we are winning because right now our Deputy President has given us the marketing side to reach out there to the world to tell them that we have the best coffee and we are marketing it. And we are ready as a county government to support this agenda. And we are working with the national government, the Presidential Economic Transformation Secretariat, to create one cooperative in every ward. That will mean that you will have a lot of business as cooperatives. We will not only be dealing with coffee, we will also be dealing in hosting other cooperatives within every ward in the county. I am championing that agenda, and I can assure you we will be coming again to you to let you know that we are doing great things with coffee cooperatives, not just dealing with the selling of beans. We will actually be doing more in supporting the coffee infrastructure in the country. Thank you.
Let us appreciate Professor Kirigai. He's doing a good job for us in Central. Let me just...
Good morning. My name is Mudhomi from Meru County. I'm representing the CC Agriculture, and Meru is the backbone of coffee. When you hear coffee, I think we need to see Meru. Is it true? So very soon, almost every household will be very happy that they are planting coffee in Meru. So we are expecting the same is happening. The cooperative is there. We are launching actually. So from our hand, and this is subsidy of fertilizer, so our farmers will benefit greatly. And this was what you call black gold, and still is the black gold. And you also bear witness of that. Is that right? So I don't think there is anything that will compete with coffee in the near future. So we're in the right place, and welcome to Meru County. I think we will be the leading. There must be a scale of competition so that we can be able to have a cap. If people are competing for caps and other things, we can also compete on production and see how we can be able to scale ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want us to appreciate ourselves because we were invited and we came, and we are going to be active participants in this dialogue. Please appreciate yourself and your neighbor. Thank you for that. Allow me to introduce the Managing Director of New KPCU, Timothy, to do his opening remarks and take over the program.
Thank you. All protocols observed. Our farmers, good morning once again. This is a great day in the coffee subsector, isn't it? Sindio? Tumekunywa breakfast? Wacha tuitike kwa nguvu. It is a great day that the Lord has made. And I really don't take it for granted seeing all these faces. We are happy that you heeded to our call, short notice as it was. It was not intentional, but it's the way things are moving very fast. And I want to thank you, Chairman Naku and your team. You moved very swiftly, and also my team, when we agreed on the date and we invited you, and without flinching, you have arrived and turned out in good numbers. I want to thank you, and as a part of the board and part of the new KPCU, I want to tell you that we don't take your presence here for granted. We truly value and appreciate it. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you. Feel at home, because we are discussing one objective, which is coffee, right? We're not discussing anything else today but coffee. So it is a consultative discussion or a consultative meeting. Your thought, your opinion counts. So wherever you are, don't go back with that point. And I want to quote what Eric from the office of the DP said. Give us ideas as well. We may, even the Bible says, two are better than one. And when you are this multitude, we are better in terms of sharing whatever ideas we have. Don't feel your idea is too small and you go back with it. Probably that would be the game changer in these coffee reforms. So without further ado, I want to welcome you, feel at home, and let us have a very good time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MD. I don't know that Professor Kia is back. I know he had stepped out. As we wait for Prof, I think as we continue to wait for our Cabinet Secretary, who is our chief guest, and a few other members of Parliament, let us give this opportunity to the Chairman of the National Coffee Cooperative Union to make some remarks. Atuelezee hii safari mahali ilianzia from the cooperative movement eyes, na pia tumshukuru Naku sana na tushukuru ofisi ya commissioner. Chairman, you can become. Tushukuru ofisi ya commissioner wetu ambaye ameshikilia hii federation ya cooperative kuwa register na kuwasaidia waweze kuwa union at the national level ambayo inaweza wakilisha mambo ya kahawa. Na ile kitu muhimu sana, Commissioner, the most important thing that you have done, every one of these union officials themselves are leaders in their primary cooperative. So hata kama kuna Naku au wazee wote na wamama and the ladies and gentlemen in that federation, they are also representative of their primary cooperatives. So Chairman, you can make your brief remarks as we continue.
Thank you, Esther. Wakulima wa kahawa na wengine ambao tumekuja pamoja, good morning. Nisalimieni, good morning. I've been given an opportunity to say one or two things about the journey that we have had on the coffee reforms, and I will do exactly that. But it's something I would like to mention. I don't know whether I'll get another opportunity, but if I happen to get an opportunity, I will say the same thing. We as farmers are very happy. For one, we appreciate the realization of the government that coffee reforms can only be driven, or the fruits of coffee journey in this can be driven through farmers aligned, or through farmers forums and organizations. The KPCU, the new KPCU. This is a farmers institution, and the government has seen that and realized we can only get the fruits, all that we have been claiming, agitating for in the journey through KPCU. But I want to request one thing to the government, because KPCU has also become a state department now. Let's consult, let's use the farmer to move forward whatever agendas that are being driven or pushed on to the KPCU to take over. If farmers are involved, I know we have a board that has also farmers. The board is full of, is composed of the farmers. But please give the cooperatives an opportunity, particularly in forums that relate to that. We have not really been left behind. But I just wanted to appreciate that the government has really recognized the need to appreciate that. KPCU can lead us, can get us to the other level, but let's have the involvement of the farmers in whatever we are doing. Coming to NACU, I thank the the task force report, the team, and when they go to the level of seeking guidance at the national level, they didn't have any organized body. And an idea came in of forming such a body. NACU was formed in 2017, and our main objective is advocacy and lobbying. And we have really done it. Let me tell you, gentlemen and ladies, it has been difficult. It has been difficult getting the reforms to where it is today. I really appreciate the farmers whom we used to call in forums that were being thrown out, forums that were not being allowed to participate in, they came out. But it is out of the formation of NACU and encouragement of some of us. Esther, in wherever you are working, I won't this time shy and say, in your private role of being a farmer, you really assisted the formation of NACU. It has been difficult because from 2019, the first gazettement, we had of course other, but when we had the first gazettement of the 2019 crops general regulations, that is when we started seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, gazetted, but implementation was not part of really in the agenda. Mungu ni mwema, we have been to places, we have been to journeys. NACU has not been receiving any financial assistance from the union, from the societies. And you know also the state of our the financial status of our unions. They could not be able to be financially supporting NACU. But well wishes have been there and we have got to where we are. It has been very difficult. We are lucky that in 2022 we got a government that really cared, that really was ready to listen. This is a time when everything had been done about suppressing the earlier kind of a journey, and even what we had passed and what has been gazetted in 2019 had already a very considerate deputy president who from the word God decided and were determined to see that the reforms get to the last door, get to the last stage. This is what has been happening. They put together the parliament and the amendment was brought back and annulled and the journey again had enough fuel to move on. It has been a time of only now working at the details since it got annulled, and we are where we are. We have had so many conversations, so many forums. We are in Meru. We have been in several meetings, this time involving the county government, the 13th Parliament, Coffee Caucus, and things have really been moving. We really appreciate our CS for cooperatives, Honorable Simon Cherugoi. I wish he was already here to hear that, but he knows huyo ndio unaye hataki mchezo kwa hii kazi. Being pushed by the DP, naye anafanya kazi. We are really blessed, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to see the end of the tunnel, and we are going to where we are today. We are coming to determine the final take of the farmer. What does the farmer now take home? This is where we are. Na hii yote, I'm telling you, has been by grace of God, has blessed these gentlemen who have been working to see these things end. We are yet to receive the final package. I know it has been well. SNACO has been consulted. We have been in meetings with the DP's office. I know now Wachira, even when Wachira starts up and starts saying something, I can guess what he wants to say, because we have been in several meetings with him. Cooperatives department, everybody has been involved. It has been a journey. This is what I wanted to say. We didn't just get it in a silver plate. It is out of your support farmers. It is out of the unity of the unions that have got us where we are. We appreciate the county governments. I remember when things went way high in that gazettement, June 2022, the COG agreed to go to court out of our persuasion. They went to court to challenge that amendment, and they put us as also supporters in that, meaning that the county governments we have today, the COG we have today, is all in support, very much in support. Hakuna kitu kingine wakulima, ni sasa twende tukalime, tulete kahawa. I know the dispensation today has one or two things that needs to be aligned. We are going to do that. We should not feel worried as to where we are. At KPCU iko nini, NACO iko nini, wakulima. Tuko kitu moja, and we have to agree for us to be able to continue. Chairman, we have to agree. We have to work together for us to get the good results. Thank you very much. And once again, I say the government, asante sana kwa kurealize at ni body ya.
And I really want to thank God, Commissioner, for the work you're doing to support the Coffee Farmers Federate and strengthening them.
Wali ya kwanza kabisa ni mshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu mwingi wa rehema ambaye ametuwezesha kufanya kongamano hii tuongelee mambo ya coffee. I'll be very, very brief, but one thing I'd like to start with is a very fundamental core belief as a person and also as an intellectual. Liberty. One of the best. Obviously, I got various answers. Remember Mzee Katigima, his friend, the chairman from Gusi. I started getting a very different answers. Oh, once the farmer brings their coffee to the cooperative, he relinquishes his property rights. And then you go to the marketer, wakileta kahawa hiyo ni kahawa yetu. Then I went and asked, hii kahawa nani analipa? So he came to talk to me. Okay. So he talked to me that this farmer literally ensures everybody along the value chain, including the cooperatives, including the marketing, and also the milling. And you guys know it. So that is where the rubber meets the road. That is my core belief. And when I presented this report to the president, he told me, please take this and implement it. Obviously, I don't want to go back to the detail. I think the chairman of NACU has alluded to. It has been very, very difficult. But there is also some lessons that I think we have learned, as well as people who have made this journey more worthwhile. I remember I was taken to court shortly after I did the report, and I was told proper public practitioner was never done. I remember Justice Udunga. So I called my committee and I told them, from now on, whoever will challenge these regulations has to do it from a substantive point of view, not a procedure. So we made sure all the procedure process is followed. Proper consultation, we come here, we take the views, we record them, we tell, we are not going to record this because of these reasons. And that's how we have survived. The other key important aspect that was never part of it is also the evolution of the agriculture as a devolved function. So the county government could be able to be part of it. And then finally, the empowerment of the coffee farmer through the formation of NACU. I knew, however much I cared about coffee, I would not be with you. I had seen what I wanted to do, and I knew at one point I had to take an exit. But I thought with my committee, there has to be a custodian of this reform. And wakulima wenzangu, they are got to a point in life. It doesn't matter who is right or wrong. We can argue back and forth whether these reforms or who is favoring. But we one thing can all agree on: this kahawa belongs to the farmer. Now, it can be a discussion between the estate farmer and small estate farmer, but that is here nor there. Okay. For us to move forward, okay, either we join at the hip and we move forward, or we fail. In summarizing my comments, there are a few things that need to be done right now in Argentina. And again, there's a lot of good lessons that I think we can all do. I think Director Glory has really, I don't know how much what Glory has done that you guys need to know to be synchronized in a way that I think everybody will benefit from coffee. That coffee previously, you all know that the coffee farmer has been conspicuously missing in all the deliberation about the coffee for the last 30 years. Nobody used to come and ask, what do you think? Or how things will be done. So in this policy, and I can tell you as a policy scholar, policy is about picking winners and the losers. It's about interest. So for this policy, and I'm really happy that Chairman Gone articulated the alignment with the current government, that the farmer need to be at the center. In fact, there is no any other practical example of bottom-up model champion than these reforms. Because you're saying the person who wants the coffee, until he relinquishes those property rights, he or her belong to him or her, and need to be consulted all the way up to even the trading. So the coffee bill is very, very critical. There is also the sessional paper that need also to be adopted. Mr. Chairman, the sessional paper, we have done it. We have followed the procedure process that have been completed, and we have shared that with the Minister of Agriculture. And what that sessional paper need to do is to be submitted to the cabinet for approval and tabled to the parliament for adoption. Let me tell you why this policy is important. What developing countries have been doing is they start with the policy and then the law. But most of developing countries does this the other way now. They start with the law and then start following the policy. The problem of doing that is that you'll be creating that law. And Mr. Chairman, from 1963, we never had a coffee policy. So if you don't have a policy, what you do you allow the judges to have a lot of discretions in terms of the ruling. That's why you find one ruling is done in Nairobi. If you go to Machakos, there's another ruling. If you go to Eldoret, there's another ruling. It creates chaos, or what you call legal lacuna. So it's always important to start with the policy, and then from the policy you have the Act of Parliament, and then now from the Act of Parliament you draft regulations. So for this coffee and this farmer-centric policy that we have taken in place, this session of paper, Mr. Chairman, need to be adopted. In fact, it need to precede the Act itself. Okay? The other legislative agenda is also equally important, is to now to synchronize other related, and I think the Commissioner has been getting a whip of it, is that you have the regulator who could not actually view the 2-3 main things that we work now. Otherwise, the regulations are there; they are not perfect. Okay. And I'm not here to tell you that these regulations are perfect. There are some things that we have seen need to be amended. But I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, let's first of all get this thing through. And then now we can worry about this implement in the March later. Thank you. I wish you all the best. But I can say the other point, I think I wish maybe the CS corporate would be here. So I think we need to recognize the work that the CS and the SPS have really done. Very quickly, policy implementation in developing countries, or in developed countries, and I think Waziri, Kiringa, you are aware about it. It is a parameter. Once the policy is created, everybody aligns. In developing countries, policy implementation is a variable. It matters who is sitting there. You are lucky you have a chairman from KPCU who is passionate about coffee. We are very lucky you have the CS, cooperative and PS who also care about it. And you can see, heading for CS Cheribui and working with the DP, it's foolish to expect that these things will be easy. But we are fighting. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor K. I think he deserves a better clap, Wakulima. We really truly must be grateful to the people that have been instrumental in helping us as coffee farmers, and particularly the cooperative movement, get where it is today. Without much further ado, I know the CEO of Nairobi Coffee Exchange is here. Lispa, where are you? Oh, Lispa. I would want to give this opportunity to Nairobi Coffee Exchange watuelezee mambo ya DSS. Najua watu wengi wanafikiria DSS ni mambo ya CoopBank, na DSS ni maneno ya Nairobi Coffee Exchange ambao ndio wana oversight na kumanage hiyo DSS. Na nataka CEO akuje awaelezee. I know my colleagues from Cooperative Bank are here. Kukiwa na swali technical atajibu, lakini DSS ni maneno ya Nairobi Coffee Exchange na Capital Markets Authority. CEO, please let us appreciate Lispa. For your information, wakulima, if you want kujisaidia kidogo, washroom ziko karibu na mahali tulikuwa tunakunywa chai. Thank you.
All protocols observed. Good morning. I want all the growers to stand. Kindly. Will not be made. If you are a grower, a cooperative, an estate, once it is drawn by the brokers, when they are presenting it to the exchange, they present it together with something we call a draft catalog. That's like the sequence of order of SARS, collect the samples, and then the representative, because the law allows that, tells us, for example, a cooperative society may have access from external enhancement is regulated by the Capital Markets Authority, the Central Bank of Kenya, and it is oversighted according to the laws. You can only settle a cooperative society or an estate, or an association or a union. But for the DSS, we are working with cooperative societies, and you're wondering, why hasn't the money maybe hit my account and I participated, for example, in Sale 30? The powers of disbursement to the individual farmer provider, as I had said earlier, can be a miller, a warehouseman. The law also envisions a transporter and financials. The miller charges, the brokerage fees, and the warehouse fees. And then we have now maybe recovered through the DSS. I think we talked about the settlement of coffee sales proceeds. So I want to just delve shortly into the responsibilities of the exchange. It also requires us to maintain a database for grower data and any data that is relevant for trading. We also have reports that are generated. This information is freely available to all growers because we believe the sale of coffee is a business to you, and for us, we are just facilitating that using Nairobi Coffee Exchange as a trading platform. We are also supposed to ensure compliance. Of course, as this new regulatory framework gets familiar to us, there has been one or two teething problems for which the exchange, through the support of the Capital Markets Authority, the Agriculture and Food Authority, and all other involved stakeholders, we are streamlining to ensure that the new regulatory framework is properly and fully implemented. We are also the ones oversighting the direct settlement system. As a grower, if you have any question regarding direct settlement or settlement of coffee sales proceeds, Nairobi Coffee Exchange has been given the mandate to manage and oversight the direct settlement system. We are also responsible for disseminating market information. I'm sure some of you have come about our trading reports, and you are able to see how a sale has performed. For example, you are able to see the volumes traded, the value realized for that sale for our coffee, average prices, and even final prices for each lot through the transaction listing. This information is freely available to everyone. We are also supposed to maintain records of grower contracts. I think I've mentioned that before, but I want to insist on that point because settlement relies heavily on that information, because we cannot be able to settle a grower unless we know your contractual obligations. I just wanted to give a brief overview of how the market has performed, especially since Sale 30, where we fully started the implementation of the new regulatory framework. We have had 6 sales that are almost complete. We had Sale 3 yesterday. We are going to be publishing the results in the course of this week. We have seen a good trajectory in the number of bags being offered, meaning the volumes are picking up. As you can see, we started at 3,800, and as of Sale 2, we had 11,000 bags. The number of participating buyers who have bid and won for coffee has also improved. The number of brokers, we started with 4, in Sale 2 we also had 4. But it's imperative to note that there are 15 licensed brokers. If you are a union here and you have an affiliated brokerage, we are ready and waiting for you to offer your coffee for sale at the trading floor. I want us to look at the value. As you can see, the value has improved over time, and this is based on very many dynamics. It could be the quality of sale, the market performance at that time, both local, regional, and global, and the quality, the volumes, the demand and supply forces, all those things. And just at the top there, you can see that so far in the new regulatory framework, we have been able to trade $7 million worth of coffee. At the end of 1 year, I would want us maybe to, in the wake of the new regulatory framework, in terms of the trickle down of value to the growers, has there been an improvement also in terms of information dissemination? I'm sure we will have an opportunity to sit back.
Members of Parliament.
Thank you very much, Esther. I believe it is still morning. Good morning, everyone. Allow me to begin as chairman of the Parliamentary Coffee Caucus in the 13th Parliament. This caucus brings to 78 members of parliament who are elected across the country. Hapa hatujali kama uko Azimio, ama uko Kenya Kwanza, ama a single party. Our interest is that you are elected in a constituency or in a county where coffee is grown. So watu wanasema ati kila kitu is a question of interest. So we are interested in coffee, not just where coffee is grown, but also where and how coffee is traded. So we take care of the interests of, wengine wenu wanasema tunaanza kwa mkulima, sisi tunaanza kwa research. Wale watu wanawapea the varieties zenye mumepanda kwa mashamba zenu. Then we come to the people who propagate, wale wako na nurseries. Then tunakuja kwa mkulima. Na tukiwa kwa mkulima, tunaangalia pia yule mfanyikazi mkulima ameajiri. Kutoka hapo tunakuja kwa mila. Tunaangalia mila, investment yake, ile kazi anafanya na wale watu wameajiri. Then tunakuja kwa broker mwenye replace marketer. Pia tunaangalia interest zake kama mtu mwenye anapeleka bidhaa ya wakulima wetu kwenye soko. And on behalf of the farmers, ana negotiate bei pale katika soko. Then tunaangalia interest ya Nairobi Coffee Exchange wenye soko kwenye biashara inafanyika. Angalia interest ya Capital Markets Authority, wale watu wana regulate vile biashara inafanyika. Tunaangalia interest ya buyer ya ile goods wananunua, na sifa ya yetu sisi kama nchi na kama wakulima yenye wanatupelekea na kueneza huko nje on behalf of the Kenyan farmer and our country. I'll request our members of parliament kindly, if you can kindly join me here, at least you see the diversity ya kule tumetoka. Parliament is on a break, and during the break, hata kama tunaenda nyumbani, tunafanya pia kazi ya committee. Kama mimi nilikuwa nimeahidi nitakuwa hapa saa 3, but I'm in the Committee of Health, and today we were tackling the Kenya Drugs Authority Bill. So nimeingilia pale, mkikunywa chai saa 3, mimi nilikuwa nimeketi pale na ministry na watu wanaitwa Pharmacy and Poisons Board. Wakati muda imekaribia nikaona tunaanza, nimeji-excuse pale nikimbia hapa, nyinyi mkienda lunch, mimi narudi pale ndio tumalize. And all of us utapata ya kwamba kila mtu ako na commitment, but because we are also committed to the business of coffee, our wote nimehesabu, we also found time to come and be with you. Let me start. They say ladies first. Honorable Beatrice Adagara.
chair of the caucus, farmers, coffee farmers, and let me say all protocol observed. I'm Dr. Kahaya Dagala, MP Vihiga County, a member of the trade cooperatives and whatever in Parliament, and I'm expecting my chair to be coming to. I belong to the Coffee Caucus and his chairmanship, and I am the vice. The zeal that I have for this coffee has made me leave Vihiga very early in the morning to attend this meeting. And why have I come? I can see somebody from Vihiga carrying up his hand. This one shows Vihiga, we are coming up. Vihiga, thank you very much. Vihiga, we have small farmers. We may not be like Kiambu, although some are discouraged, uprooted the trees, but we are encouraging them. We want to start afresh. We have encouraged so many to start planting. They have tea. We have told them you must have tea and coffee and everything. For us, we have to go the agricultural way, and we do business. So that's why I'm here. We want to see to the next level. I'm sure the Minister for Cooperative may be here, or the representatives. We oversight them, and we really want to see this industry come up. To the Kenyan farmer to feel good, to put money in the pocket, because when we were campaigning, we were saying we should have Fukoni from all counties. When the production was being done, all counties are represented here, and this is the way to go. Encourage others to plant, encourage them to join societies, and here we shall grow. Thank you. God bless us all.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Peter Kihogi. I'm the MP Kangema constituency, Murang'a County. Mine nimekuja kwa ajili ya mkulima ya kahawa. I can see CEC Murang'a County, and I think Murang'a County is represented here. I think we have come now to a point we need results. Professor Care, we have walked a long journey since we came to Parliament, and we now want result. We might not talk further. Farmers want to see the result of the things that we are doing. I've heard about Senate. These things can stay in Senate the whole time. We have heard about the sessional paper. I don't understand how a sessional paper, we can say Professor Care is waiting to get cabinet. And cabinet meets every twice per week. And the chair for cabinet committee is the deputy president, who is extremely passionate on the issues to do with coffee. Therefore, as a parliament, we are extremely committed to make deliver, to see the result to the farmer. And we can't afford that Senate is doing other businesses and ours is taking a second position. Cabinet is meeting every twice per week, and a sessional paper that's about to deliver for these farmers has not gotten to Parliament. I think that's the answer. Whoever is involved, the Minister of Agriculture should answer immediately, because we are tired also. Like when we had there's a meeting to do with farmers, the explanation are good. Whenever you talk, the first time we met with you, we found we have people who can deliver on the issue to do with coffee. But when the DSS was explaining, furthermore, I was feeling this is not now the time I need to know how it operates. We need to know how will our farmer start getting results. And that's why we are here. And therefore, as Parliament, we are extremely committed. And I wish we should not now go back to say we are waiting, we think. Just tell us who is the problem, who is handling it. Because I know the president is not the one, and then the president is not the one. There might be some people who have been given work by this government who are not committed on the cause. Therefore, we must walk to the talk. We must make sure we might not meet another day to give farmers promises again, but to give them and they see the results of whatever we have started doing. Kwa hivyo nawabariki sana. We have a good chairman who is extremely committed. But chairman, sasa we don't know what to talk again. Wacha tuanze kuona mazao ya hii kazi yetu tulianza mapema with your team, Professor Keo and the people whom we have worked together. Bwana wabariki sana, asante sana.
God is good and all the time. My name is Hilary Kosgei. I'm the MP for Kilian West, and I'm sure a lot of representatives of farmers from Kilian West are in this meeting. I can see them raising their hands over there. Kilian is an emerging, serious area for coffee. And I am here to walk the step and to walk the way with my people. And we started in the other parliament with Professor Kea and Madam Esther, who I think deserve a clap. Can we clap for them? And when the new administration came in, the deputy president has put fresh impetus and energy to make sure that we make coffee what it truly was, the gold of Kenya. And as we walk this journey, because of the mysteries that shrouding the coffee sector, in the region, we are the least. We count our number of coffee plants, but Uganda is ahead of us. Everywhere in the region, we are the least. So as we even start putting energy and seeing results, we must also go back to ask farmers to now redouble their effort to plant more coffee the way we are doing in Kilian and Kericho County. And if you don't take that message to your home, soon we will arrive here and tell you Kilian is the largest county producing coffee in the next less than 10 years. But these reforms we are talking about, we have been given good outcomes. My Mheshimiwa said that farmers need results. Those results must go up to and including where the dollar sits. We will not allow dollar manipulation to the disadvantage of our farmers. If coffee is traded in dollars, farmers must get their money in dollars. Right? Mpaka huko nyumbani wakuwe na dola. Siku hizi watu wanatuma watoto ng'ambo wawe na account ya dola. Hii mtu anakuja kukaa hapa katikati, tunasikia dola ni 150, wewe unatufinya unaweka 120, hatutakubali. So tunataka mkulima a benefit from aspects, and we have started a good journey. We thank the team, the director of cooperatives here. I know there is a bill on cooperatives that will go a long way in our societies down at home. We will be able, when that time comes, we will pass it, and we will pass it with the interest of the farmer at heart. So we are here as a sign of commitment. We are on recess. We would be around 60 or 70 ordinarily. But thanks to you farmers for finding time to come and listen meeting. And you know, especially because coffee has been the only product that mkulima anapeleka kwa factory, anawachana naye, ajui itakuwa shilingi ngapi. Kahawa inatembea safari mpaka mwezi 3 unakuja kuambiwa ni shilingi 20. So with the cherry fund, which sets it as a minimum of 80, we are able to stabilize the market and to make sure that ni kama maziwa, you can calculate and know your fees. Hata ukiwa na fees unajua hii kitu haiwezi kuja chini ya shilingi 80, serikali itakuwa hapo kutusaidia kupitia new KPC. So asanteni sana. We're looking forward for a fruitful engagement. We'll be here in, on and off, because we are having other committees of parliament. We are changing a lot of laws to make Kenya better, including the laws that Mheshimiwa has touched on health and other aspects on the Republic of Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. I hope the coffee traders you've heard that Beatrice is in the Parliamentary Committee of Trade. So if we have issues concerning the trading of coffee, the caucus presents you with a wide range of access to Parliament where laws are being made. So if there is something in the area of trade, we have an ambassador that we can send to go and streamline for us on the area of trade, an aerobic group. But you can imagine if today we drove all 78 of us to the gate of State House, even if we did not have an appointment. Definitely. So that's what we are saying. That we bring together synergy, we bring together all our energies together to of coffee business. We are not here to chase away anybody from coffee, because if we chase you, who will play the role that you are playing? If you're a buyer, you know where Kenya Coffee goes. We want all of us to work from the same table and agree to distribute the income generated from coffee fairly across the chain. Isibaki, mimi, as the laborer in the coffee plantations, my children cannot go to school on the basis that also the coffee farmer pia haumii. In Kikuyu kuna kitu tunaitanga kohorania. Umeweka chai kwa kikombe moja, umechukua kikombe ingine, unabadilisha kutoka kwa kikombe hii mpaka kwa kikombe hii. Hiyo chai haiwezi ongezeka. Sasa isikuwe na yeye kazi ya mkulima, kazi yake ndiyo kohorania, si ndio? The millers, we know the farmer does not have the financial muscle and capacity and the expertise to mill. We need you to come in as an investor. We expect that you want a fair return on your investment, but at the same time, mkulima asiumie. Do you want to finance the farmer? We want the farmer to have credit in good time. Kama sasa tunajua kuna subsidized fertilizer 17 kwa kila mkulima. It is not even in Nyeri. It is not there in sufficient quantities. Tungependa ifike hapo in good time and in sufficient quantities. Na ikiwezekana ikaribie mama yangu kwa factory inaitwa Kihuyo Coffee Factory kwenye anapeleka kahawa yake. Tunajiuliza the cooperative ministry and agriculture ministry, tukisubsidize fertilizer peke yake, is that enough to turn around productivity? Things we need to add on to the subsidy program in order for us to achieve the target of increasing production. What price does it fetch? But for our coffee to fetch a good price, the quality must be good. The buyer and the consumer can demand our coffee. So that is why I'm telling you that as members of parliament, we are working across the chain. Among the people who elected me are traders in coffee. So siwezi waumiza, because the farmer pia nikiumiza trader, huyu farmer mwenye naambia aongeze production yake itapelekwa sokoni na nani? Na hana uwezo wa kufika sokoni. The whole idea behind the reforms and our participation as legislators, including our role in making laws, we want to be able to partner with you The laws can no longer become an impediment or a roadblock. They can no longer allow one section of the value chain to suffer, and therefore all of us, irrespective of the area of the value chain where you are participating in, I am coming to bring the message of the Parliamentary Coffee Caucus that we are your friends, we are available, we are open to engage and have candid, genuine discussions on what we all need to do. And we are happy. We know there are farmers who don't need the 80 shillings. Member of Parliament whose last year's harvest bado ameweka kwa store anangoja bei improve, na bado ako kwa shamba na anaendelea should not say that the small scale farmer who needs credit does not deserve. Open up so that he can be able to take his coffee to the market, and the market in terms of price discovery should be good enough for each one of us. And unlike maybe what has happened previously in ending, I'm asking you to give us the benefit of doubt. Trust us this time round. If we fail you, then you have reason to say no. Madenge and Wandeto, hiyo group yenu hamukutuendesha vizuri. Unfortunately, history has a lot of failures and it also has a lot of successes. We are committed, we are willing solution for all of us. I have seen my colleague, Member of Parliament for Tetu constituency, Mheshimiwa Wandeto, has speaking. And the other members of Parliament, kindly come in, just say your name so that then we can be able to move on with the program. The other thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and all the participants. My name is Geoffrey Wandeto. I'm the Member of Parliament for Tetu constituency, that is in Nyeri County. And we are both a coffee and tea zone. And we are, once our farmers smell the money, they will not require any additional motivation to tend to their coffee.
And everybody gathered here today, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. My name is Freddy Kana, Member of Parliament representing Shinyalo constituency. I'm happy to be here today. Let's keep the conversation so that we derive real and full value from the sweat of our farmers. God bless you.
He sits in the security committee. So when we have issues with coffee theft, we have somebody we can run to very quickly.
Thank you very much, Chairman. My name is Konya Thuku. Good afternoon. I am here in my capacity as a Member of Parliament and as a friend of this caucus, because you realize that Members of Parliament do not just represent areas they are elected to represent, but the whole country and to legislate. And therefore, whatever it is in the interest of our people, I am right there to support. And therefore, coffee farmers, you can count on the people of Kinangop and my vote whenever the decision is to be done, so that then your interest can be looked into. Thank you very much.
Asante Chairman, kwa majina ni Moses Krema. Mimi natoka Meru Central Imenti, mjumbe wa huko, na pia kama mwakilishi wa sehemu inayotoka kahawa, sababu wengi wenu hapa unaona wanatoka Meru na mnajua Meru ni wapi na uhusiano wa Meru na kahawa. Pia mimi ni mkulima wa kahawa. Hata nikiwa mkulima wa kahawa, kuna ile kahawa nilirithi kutoka kwa wazazi, na yangu ni kusema kwamba hii kazi yote tunafanya, ile vikao yote tumeanza na tumekaa, kusema kweli haitakuwa ya bure. Ni heri kujaribu, ni heri kufanya badala ya kuangalia na macho tukiwa mbali. Kama vile mmesikia chama akisema, ile sheria yote itapitia bunge, tutaiunga mkono. Hata sisi wengine wetu kama si kahawa, hatungekuwa pale tuko, sababu unajua hapo mbeleni kahawa ilikuwa kama dhahabu, lakini kutoka 1978 kuya mpaka wakati, kwa sababu hapo mbeleni ulikuwa unalima kahawa, hakuna kutoa pesa mtoto kupeleka shule, ni factory tu unaenda unapewa karatasi unapelekea principal na anakubali mtoto wako asome kwa sababu atapata fisi kutoka kwa kahawa. Vile namuona nyinyi nyote ni beneficiaries wengi wenu wa wakati huo. Kwa hivyo tunajua utamu ule ulikuwa wakati huo wa kahawa, na ndio tunataka turudi hapo hapo, na hakika hata ile kahawa unasikia, kwa sababu kwangu ni moja pale unasikia kahawa imeibiwa kutoka society hii ama factory hii. Kusema ukweli, hii kahawa iwezi kuibiwa na mtu ambaye anachunga ng'ombe Northeastern, hata jua atapeleka wapi. Hii kahawa iwezi kuibiwa na mtu ambaye anabeba mizigo huko Port Authority huko Mombasa. Inaibiwa na watu wetu wenyewe, na si watu wadogo. Mkulima wa kawaida hawezi. Kwa hivyo nasema hata roho zetu tufikirie na tusije tukapata laana, kwa sababu ukiangalia wale wakulima wa zamani, kuna wale wabwenyenye walikuwa wakati huo, wafuateni kwa vijiji yenu, mtaona yale yaliyofuata walipofikiria kuiba kitu ya mkulima. Roho zetu siwe clean jamani, na tukiingilia pale tunaendea iwe tunafikiria mkulima, tukijifikiria sisi wakati huu ndio sisi ndio wakulima wakati huu. Tutasupport mkulima na njia zote, traders, wakulima wenyewe, millers, mpaka tuone tumeshikana, kila mtu amefata faida ya jasho yake. Asanteni na Mungu abariki.
Asante sana. So mnaona karibu area zote zenye tunalima kahawa, the members of parliament, out of the normal organization ya parliament, we are committed to bring our energy together. The CEO of the Nairobi Coffee Exchange anaweza kuambia baada ya sale kila wiki nampigia, hii wiki how much coffee has been offered. Kwa hivyo hakuna mbunge mwenye anatoka sehemu ya kahawa that I'm not making sure what is happening katika soko inamfikia, so that when you mission to back our arguments. The next thing I'm doing is also looking at what is happening in the surrounding areas. And here I'm disappointed. A target for coffee production that we have set ourselves. Is that true, Professor Kaya? Now the watu wameanza kulima kahawa juzi. So what is it that we said? If we can get the return correct for every of the player in the value chain, then our coffee production will almost automatically shoot, and all of us stand to benefit. Asanteni sana, Mungu wabariki.
Wakulima, I think we owe our members of parliament a very, very big clap. Let us appreciate these men and women. Sijui ni wangapi waliona jana wakati His Majesty the King alikuja, alienda akaweka maua kwa grave, some unmarked grave of unknown heroes who helped to liberate our country na kutupatia hii independence tunajivunia. And I can assure you, our members of parliament have been those heroes that will be celebrated for a long time, because they rose to the occasion and listened to us as farmers na wakapitisha sheria, na sasa wametupatia nguvu kisheria. Interventions mingi za kahawa ilikuwa imefanywa bila kubebwa na sheria, na wakafanya hivyo. And our MPs, we want to appreciate you for the work you're doing for us in Parliament. Truly, you are representing us. As we wait for Cabinet Secretary, I want us to close this session by giving our county government an opportunity to also tell us what they are doing in the county. And our professor from the great county of Murang'a is here to represent the county government. Hawa ni watu wamesoma, ni hao mawaziri wetu tuko nao kwa counties. Cooperatives are devolved. Waziri, come and talk on behalf of the counties very briefly as we wait for our CS who has just arrived.
Thank you, Esther. And thank you very much, Chair of Agriculture Caucus, and all the MPs, my own MP, Bwana Kihungi. Asante sana for being here with us, representing the counties on matters to do with coffee, and more so to say that we are the people who give licenses to the millers. And when it comes to the implementation of the law that you pass, it passes through us as the last person to make sure that the people who are responsible for milling, they get those licenses from us as counties. So our duty is normally to ensure that when we have people make the applications from AFA, and then they come on the ground, ours to establish, is it true that they come from that locality? One of the biggest problems of implementing a law is not to have the structures to help you. And for the last 1 year now, since the Kenya Kwanza government came to power, the question that we ask ourselves, are we going, the challenges that Professor Kea was facing was in Murang'a. And we sat, and they were taken through our own chairman of the union, Bwana Gone, who is also now the chair of the NACU as well. And there is something that emerged out of there. They made a commitment that we will deliver this movie. I must thank the parliamentarians. I must thank all those who actually joined that caucus and who have formed now that initiative that the chairman, I'm here because of coffee, and the farming that we are doing, and the transformation agenda that we are having for the agricultural sector. There has been efforts in the past. It is cascaded down to us to interpret what they are saying at the national level and make it happen. And one of the things that we have, the people to do that is us, the CECMs, who are responsible for the agriculture in the various counties. And we have brought to the national government that doesn't get to the county, because we have a mechanism now of delivering those services to our farmers. I'll give an example of our own case. Yesterday when the cooperative, the entire union members were having their AGM, I was summoned. This was a summon, it was not actually an invitation. What you have had Bwana Madenge say, that 17 is nowhere. So, can you come and tell us, where is our fertilizer? And the committee that is led by Gone and myself sat, and I took them through an understanding of what we are doing and what the national government is doing. And of course, when there are challenges, we admit that there are challenges that short rain and long rains. And this happens to be the time when coffee is harvested. So the fertilizer that is required most is the one that goes to coffee. So we happen to have and what new KPCU is inviting us to do, the counties are prepared, because the World Bank has started a program that they are calling. So that circle per ward is going to be responsible for how we now facilitate delivery of financial services to our agriculture, because the circle is not, it is purely for the agricultural sector. But there is also an interesting rider to that. The World Bank has also said that we are not just going to be interested in bringing the circles down there. We have some resources. And the resources that are going to be made available through this circle initiative of the World Bank, the interest rate, and Esther, your bank may be hit here, because farmers will actually now get a better source of money through the World Bank. And we kick off that because we will come to you as farmers, we will come to the Waheshimiwas, we will come to all of you and tell you, we want you now, this is a circle, invest in it, but you are not investing so that you get returns from the money. We want you to get the returns from the produce that this money will trigger. So the business that we have therefore as the CEC for agriculture is to make sure that we do very serious work with all the farmers wherever you are, in whatever you are doing, because you will receive the money whether you are from Kinago or from Marsabit, you will receive your money and we will be doing what we have to do. Allow me to recognize the presence of our own CS, Karibu sana Waziri. Thank you very much. And by finalizing, because our CS has come, I must say that that circle initiative is going to be addressed, and we have started talking with the CS on how to domesticate. Thank you.
Let us give a better clap to Professor Kingai. He has been a very good friend of coffee reforms and leading us in the county government area. In recognition of the entrance of our cabinet secretary, I'd like us to stand so that we can observe the national anthem and we can kickstart the next session of this forum. Thank you. We can have a seat. Our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Simon Chelugui, thank you for coming. Our Principal Secretary, Honorable Patrick Kilemi, our Members of Parliament present, County Government officials, wakulima wenzangu, hamjamboni. CS, we've had a robust session this morning where we have listened to the voice of the chair of the task force, Professor Kea, who has carried these reforms from 2016. We have been able to listen to our members of parliament who have birthed these coffee reforms by setting up the laws that we are now enjoying, the laws that have empowered the farmers. We have listened to Nairobi Coffee Exchange, who have taken us through the trading since the new reforms took effect up until the last sales, and she has ably taken us through that journey. We have listened to the National Coffee Cooperative Union, that is a creation of the new reforms, a body that you have registered in your ministry to be able to bring our cooperatives and our farmers together. CS, in the interest of time, I know you are constrained. I want you to see the farmers that came today. All our estate farmers across the country, please stand. Estate coffee farmers, we have farmers from Nyeri, estates from Kirinyaga, Embu, Homa Bay, Kericho, Nakuru, Embu, Murang'a, Machakos, Trans Nzoia, Meru, Uasin Gishu, we have Kakamega, we have Kisii, Nyamira. Our farmers are here. Let us appreciate our estate farmers. CS, the law says an estate farmer is a grower who grows coffee on 5 acres and above, and these are the representative of that category. The farmers in our great movement, the cooperative movement, all of us, if you are in the cooperative movement, please stand up for a cabinet secretary to see you. CS, these are growers from all coffee growing counties. We have Nyeri, Kirinyaga, Embu, Nyamira, Kisii, Migori, Kericho, Nandi, Nakuru, Murang'a, Machakos, Makueni, Tharaka Nithi, Meru, Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kakamega, all of them are here. Thank you very, very much, our great cooperators. You produce over 70% of our coffee and we remain indebted to you. CS, we have our county government led by Professor Kirigai from Murang'a. He's here, he's been speaking. Allow me to recognize the Union of Kirinyaga. They have taken exception that I did not recognize the Union of the County of Kirinyaga. They are here, they are the newly licensed brokers. We have all our other unions. If you are a board member representing a cooperative union in our counties, please stand up. Our unions. Thank you, let us appreciate them. These are the ones that form the National Coffee Cooperative Union. I'd like to welcome our Managing Director, Timothy Mirugi, to take over the program from here and introduce the cherry fund that brought us here.
Thank you. Our Cabinet Secretary, our Principal Secretary, Honorable Members of Parliament, our Commissioner, our farmers, good afternoon. I think, and you'll agree with me, that we've had a very, very interesting morning part, and I thank you for your patience. But now that our chief guest is here, we'll go straight to today. So, our CS, with your permission, allow me to run through the cherry fund. As you are aware, and most of you, it's in the public domain, the government recently approved an additional 4 billion shillings to the new KPCU as Coffee Advanced Revolving Cherry Fund. And the idea behind this was to raise, because I know most of you have taken cherry fund before, and you have taken it at a rate of 20 shillings, or if you are an estate, you have taken it at a rate of 40% of the prevailing market rate on parchment. So then has also gone up. Inflation has gone up, and so that 20 shillings was no longer tenable. So this additional 4 billion was to come so that the best coffees are attracting 80 shillings, and we'll see as we move on. The eligibility criteria as enshrined in the current PFM Act, because the Cherry Fund is guided by the PFM Act Coffee Cherry Advanced Revolving Fund of 2020. The eligibility criteria is that it is a smallholder coffee estate, a citizen of Kenya, or a smallholder coffee grower that is in cooperative, and also a member of a registered cooperative society. Then it has gone further and defined who this smallholder is. The smallholder, according to PFM, is a farmer with not more than 20 acres of land. However, our CS, that in the past, it has locked so many farmers who feel, and especially the estate farmers, who feel they're also part and parcel of the coffee growing community, not eligible because they have more than 20 acres. What are we? Then there is the issue of collateral management. Advance given, but then we are saying it will be the first charge once the coffee has been sold. So, and that is why my colleague in NCE if we meet with another miller or in market with another, because that time it was miller marketer, then we would sign an undertaking to recover that. On to the DSS, we are saying let that money be recovered as a first charge from the DSS back to the cherry fund, so that it can also assist you the next time you want to borrow or you need it. And that is the aspect, because they shall sign a collateral management agreement. We are, in essence, we're saying we are not forcing any farmer to mill or market with new KPCU. As a professor said here, coffee is a private commodity. And so we are giving you the power as the owner of that commodity to make a choice. Do you want to work with new KPCU? Yes, you're very welcome. Do you want to work with your preferred miller or preferred broker? Yes, you're very welcome. But at the end of it, you remain a coffee farmer and you're eligible to this money. So we're saying we are going to look at, and we have started discussions at the NACO level to formalize this in terms of how do we get into an agreement. If you're a farmer affiliated to the brokerages, to another brokerage or another miller, and especially like now most of the county unions, they have been licensed as millers and as brokers. How can we get into that arrangement that once we advance, we are also sure on the other side that you're going to recover through DSS and through the arrangement with the unions. So we're saying we'll sign those agreements so that we are all covered in terms of advancement and also recovery. So this is data we've looked at that helped us to arrive at up to 80. If you look at for example, the cooperatives, the production of milled coffee is about 36,000, and we are taking now the production of of 2022-23. The total production for that year was 51,000 metric tons, or 51.8 million kilos. Out of that, cooperatives produced 36.2, and then estates produced 15.5. If you work backwards to the cherry, you'll find that we arrive at 337 million kilos, and that would attract 27 million. This is the numbers I wanted our honorable members of parliament to see, and especially our honorable member who sits in the Trade, Industry and Cooperatives Committee. We need about 27 million to be able to advance this money, given the previous production. But we only have 6 billion, because already the new KPCU Cherry Fund account has 2 billion in it, that Professor Care had recommended in his task force committee and was given to new KPCU as an administrator in 2020. So we still have 2 billion, and and now we have an additional 6 billion. That is a drop in the ocean, and you'll agree with me, farmers, that is a drop in the ocean. That will take only 2, 3, 4, 5 days to be able to exhaust that money. So we are saying we had to come up with a criteria on how that money, we will advance it, it will be of benefit to the farmer, and it will also cater for any eventuality before that coffee is sold, and it also mirror probably what the price is likely to be at either at the exchange or at the direct market. So we are saying the first payment, and this is just a proposal, we consider a 40 shillings payment at cherry. So once a farmer delivers cherry at the factory level, I know you are farmers or the societies were sending that list of farmers who have applied for cherry fund, but at a rate of 20 shillings, right? So now we are saying, can we double that to 40 shillings at cherry level? So that now the farmer is paid 40 shillings upon delivery of the cherry. But you're saying, if you deliver today 100 kilos, tomorrow 20, another day 50, it will be cumbersome. Can we agree we have a period for aggregation from the society? Probably 2 weeks. I know some of the societies like the Kirinyaga societies, Nyeri societies, they are large aggregators. Those who are talking about maybe 4 million kilos at the end of the day. So we can agree 2 weeks. You consolidate that, the data and the kilos from the farmer, put it in a document or in an Excel sheet or whatever form that we are going to give you. Send that information to New KPCU together with all the details of that farmer, including the contacts of that farmer, bank account, M-Pesa, SACCO, whichever mode. Then that money is transmitted. That allows New KPCU to also process, you to also aggregate and process, as opposed to processing on a daily basis. And that allows also the farmer to have money, as the parchment is also in the process of being pulped and onward submission to the miller. So at the miller level, so you have the normal grades at the parchment level. So we have the P1, P2, P3, PL, and Buni. So you're saying at P1, which is normally and likely to yield AAs and ABs, let's add another 40. For P2, tunaleta 20 shillings. It becomes 40 plus 20, 60. And at P3, 10 shillings. Becomes an aggregate of 50. 40 at the cherry level plus 10. So if you do this average, depending on the quality, so that we also encourage each other, farmers. You want to be paid 80, a flat rate of 80. Go back to the farm, look after that coffee, give us the best grade. And if we do that, we're also improving the overall quality in the country. We're also improving, because once we work on the quality, quantity will also come by itself. Sio kweli? Tarudi tuweke manure, tuweke dawa, we get the best berry, we get the best quality, and the best and kilo pia zinaongezeka. For estates, we do an evaluation of, because you pulp for yourselves, we do the evaluation at the mill, and we advance the money. So, in this whole equation, we are saying coffee is the collateral. And by coffee, I mean right from the cherry to the parchment all the way to the milled coffee or the clean coffee. So we also advocating for timely processing is still operating at 3% administrative fee. So one of the proposals we also thinking is to increase this. There's very little human intervention to delay the process, and you're getting the money in good time. Earlier, we are thinking or we are proposing we recover at the initial level, at the auction level, we recover through DSS and through Nairobi Coffee Exchange, AFA, Coffee Directorate, before the farmer or the exporter is allowed to export that coffee, before they get the IC certificate, then all that, all the encumbrances or all the debts in that coffee are also declared at a Coffee Directorate. So that even if you sell that coffee and you don't, which I know will not be the case, but probably 1 or 2%, that the next time want to export and you need that ICO license, the records will be showing you have not cleared something. Either new KPCU has settled that debt. So I thank you for your indulgence. And I know there will be questions. We'll be happy to respond.
Wakulima, I hope you're taking notes for the proposals that we have. I'd like to welcome the chairman of the board of New KPCU to make his brief remarks and welcome.
Honorable CS, PS, na wakulima wote, hamjambo, itifaki zote zikizingatiwa. For the last 30 years, when things have been very bad, thank you very much. Today, as we talk from this spin that the coffee sector has undergone, in 1990, Kenya was doing 128,000 metric tons. We were top 10 in the world. To take Kenya to that respectable position. And because of your resilience in working through bad times, we want to assure you that the good times, the interventions that the government is putting in, like Cherry Fund, will see hope in coffee sector. Serikali ambayo imekusudia kuinua hali ya mwananchi through the bottom up. Coffee is number one formula ya nini? Bottom. We are equal to the task. We have enough facilities to store your coffee and we shall give you value for your product. Tuko pamoja. Coffee is grown. In 1 decade is going to unite this country. And watu kutoka Nyanza, mpaka Mlima Kenya, mpaka Taita, kupitia Kajiado, wakikuta prosperity through coffee. We have many, the government has many plans in it. One is Cherry Fund, among others. And therefore, let us stand together and work with the government to realize the dream of better.
Thank you, Chairman UKPCU, for the good assurance and the hope to the Kenyan coffee farmers. Our gentlemen, hamjamboni. I think leo ni siku muhimu sana ambao ni kongamano tumekutana hapa siku ya leo. Mambo ya reforms zile ambazo zinaendelea katika hii kilimo ya kahawa. Najua wengi wenu ambao I think is now about 4 or 5 months ago. It has taken quite a while, but I think we are steady. The government is committed and implementing and how we need to move forward. Yangu ile ningependa kusema kwanza ni asante, ningependa kushukuru viongozi wa mashirika ya kahawa information over the phone and it was really forthcoming. Lakini ile ningependa kuwasihi, kwa sababu serikali imeweka mikakati ya kuona vile tunaweza inua kilimo ya kahawa na kuongeza mapato kwa mkulima, ndio kusudi ile pesa inaingia kwa mfuko ya mkulima iendelee kuongezeka. Nasi viongozi ningependa kuwaomba ya kwamba ile image ambayo iko hapo nje, najua watu wengi wanasema cooperatives kuna ukora, kuna wizi. Chairman wa NACU na viongozi wako, tafadhali wacha tu service nyumba yetu iwe nzuri, iwe white, ndio tulete imani kwa wakulima, ndio wafune kahawa, ndio wapande kahawa na malipo iendelee kwenda juu. Tukifanya hivyo, hiyo ndio njia tu ambayo tunaweza kuwa tunaenda sambamba na serikali kuinua hii kilimo ya kahawa. Na bila kuongea zaidi, ningependa nafasi hii nichukue kumwalika our principal secretary Patrick Remi akuje aongee, alafu ndio atuletee mgeni wetu wa siku ya leo. Karibu bwana principal secretary.
What the people that do, no, this guy too careful to do this dance. But importantly, I want to encourage Waziri announcements. my cabinet secretary, honorable members of parliament, wakulima wa kahawa, habari yenu. Alikuwa nataka niongee Kiswahili kwa na American accent, but that will be the end of that story. Thank you KPCU, thank you all members. This sector for facilitating this discussion. I really want to thank the office of the Deputy President. The President asked the Deputy President to lead this process. In his wisdom, we knew the battles would be tough, but we needed a tough general to lead us. But there's a reason why, in his wisdom, the President asked the Deputy President to lead the process. It is because of the potential of what coffee offers this country. Nothing tells the story of coffee but the numbers. Last year, we got around $35 billion from our coffee exports, from an average production of 2 kgs per bush. I think an average price of around 60 shillings per kg, or maybe less. We know we can do more. In fact, if you take your calculators out and you say we double that production to 4 and we double the price, then you'll be talking about $1.2 billion of imports, import inflows. Get easily, we can grow our average to 10 kgs per bush, and we know what we can get from our coffee. Honorable Cabinet Minister, I will face the market, the forward looking on how can the structure of how we market our coffee be perfect. I think you have done well. The signs are there that the market is responding. I think last week we traded over 20,000 bags and the prices were not very bad. But importantly, our Deputy President too was in Europe, even signed a contract with Java. But what is different this year, Java is a roaster. Java has never bought any coffee directly from Kenya. Java are willing to test our coffee by taking around 33 or so of containers. You know what that means? It means the coffee takers in where Java is operating, we have a first opportunity of tasting the finest coffee in the world. Coffee produced by you, distinguished farmers who are seated here. You know, if you look at Saudi Arabia, for example, Saudi Arabia, they produce oil. Their biggest company is called Saudi Aramco. It's the biggest company in Saudi Arabia. They sell their oil with pride. I think Kenyan farmers have said they are tired of selling their coffee when they are kneeling down, begging for beggars to come for it, because we know people want coffee. In fact, coffee is addictive, oil is not. Wasili will tell you what Americans are willing to forgo so that they have their cup of coffee. I think Wasili, we are presenting the Kenyan coffee to the international market with pride. Coffee proudly produced in Kenya. And that's why KPCU comes. When we see KPCU, we see an equivalent of Saudi Aramco. If KPCU is able to process 3 billion worth of coffee, 3 billion worth of US dollars of coffee per year, KPCU will be a big company. And while we are supporting, it talks about shared prosperity. Shared prosperity is about farmers coming together to share these benefits of the. Kenyan farmers are tired of hearing stories about what coffee offers. What Kenyan farmers now want, they want money in their from their coffee. I want from this podium, and why I came here, to say, from what I see, from my seat as a principal secretary serving in the 5th administration of the Republic of Kenya, I want to invite coffee farmers because the future for Kenyan coffee cannot be brighter. Looking at the numbers of estate production and cooperative production, you always think about what can the cooperative do more. It is true, the cooperatives worked well in the 1950s and the 1960s. We have a new law now being drafted at the State Law Office after approval by Cabinet. The law intends to make the cooperative movement more efficient. The law intends to sort the governance issue in the cooperative movement. And there's something Timothy showed in the presentation there, an absolute number which is payable to the cooperative if they process a kilo of shelley. It will no longer be an open book for cooperative officials to spend the money of farmers before they give them. It will be to increase production so that they are able to meet the operating cost. We must also rethink about how we process our coffee. The market has the capability of efficiently leading producers to the most optimal way of production. We will not hold our farmers hostage to an archaic method which is not working, that they are able to benefit, to derive maximum benefits from their coffee. And we have seen again, as I've said before, Kenyans are working people. Nobody told them to buy border borders. They saw a gap. Today, the border border sector is thriving. No one again told them to rear quails. They saw an opportunity. As a government waziri, let us show them the money. As you will be surprised by where the coffee will come from. As I told me some other times, maybe they'll plant it in their bedrooms. Thank you very much. It is my privilege and honor to invite the Cabinet Minister for Cooperative and MSME to come to this big stage and make very big announcements. Thank you.
Asante sana. Wakulima mjambo. Tusalamiane kama tunaonana, kama mtu ajalala. Asante. Najua kwa sababu tunaongea juu ya kahawa. Na mimi nafurahi sana kwenu nyinyi vile mmeweza kutoka mahali kokote katika nchi hii kuongelelea kushikilia, sababu ile vita ilikuwa hapa kwa kahawa, ilikuwa vita kubwa. Tumefanya yetu kama wizara bima. Kuna dalili, kuna nuru kisana, na tutafaulu. Mimi na mte walio hapa ambao waliheshimu sisi kuungana na sisi tuzungumze. Natambua wale wote washikadau wote wa serikali ya kitaifa. Naona bwana Washira pale katika ofisi wako hapa, bwana Kiringai na wale wengine wote walio hapa na watambua. Pia tunawatambua shirika mbalimbali farmers. Mimi nina furaha na niko na ujumbe kidogo, lakini kwanza ni kuhakikisha kwamba serikali akatoa hakikisho na akateua kamati maalum inaongozwa na naibu wa rais, na naibu wa rais akanida, wengine wameenda Ethiopia, wengine wameenda Europa, na we've gotten all the information that we require, and that is why hatuwezi kunywa hii kahawa kama serikali, lakini hatutaki mkulima aumie. So hii pesa ni kuokoa Jomo Kenyatta nasikia alisema watu walimwambia tuko nyuma yako. Mheshimiwa Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. So I am pleased to be part of this gathering today during the Coffee Stakeholders Consultative Forum. I want to begin by expressing our gratitude to both our President and Deputy President for their tireless efforts in leading the ongoing reforms in the coffee sector. Dear stakeholders in the coffee subsector, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda envisions a productive agriculture sector driven by smallholder farmers along key value chains with the aim of reducing our dependence on food imports and revitalizing
export crops like coffee. The coffee under the agricultural sector in the government Kenya Vision 2030. It plays a crucial role in our economy, contributing significantly to our foreign exchange of over 34 billion in the last crop, in the last financial year. Yet, we used to do lost glory in terms of earning empowerment of our farmers and generating employment and foreign exchange. We are targeting as a government that with the support we are instituting now, provision of extension services by our counties, provision of subsidy, farm input subsidy, and the cherry fund advance, we will surely grow our production from 51,000 metric tons that we saw in the last crop year to 250,000 metric tons in the next 5 years. We have faced challenges, but despite those challenges, Kenya Coffee still enjoys a global recognition for its high quality attributes and commands premium prices. So watu wengine wametuambia kahawa yetu, kahawa ya wengine iko afadhali kuliko kahawa ya Kenya. Wacha niwahakikishie, hapa Kenya ukienda kwa ile duka ya mkahawa wanachukua kahawa 3 inawekwa kwa kikombe, unauziwa shilingi 300. Sijui kama tuko pamoja. If you go to any of our coffee shops, they alafu bado mtu anasema kahawa yetu, kahawa, bei ya kahawa iko chini. Bei ya kahawa is affected by other market straight here. And that is why we are out there as government. Our farmers have been suffering and we have to make institutional reforms. We must make legal reforms and we must make farming reforms to increase productivity and increase the farmers' prices. That is the reason and that is what motivates us. The coffee reforms are being led at the highest level of government as evidenced by active involvement of His Excellency the Deputy President. The National Stakeholders Conference held in June in Meru energized the reforms and identified key thematic areas. So ladies and gentlemen, the milestones achieved under the reforms include the successful stakeholders conference we held, and we identified the following thematic areas. We looked at low production. Why have we dropped from 140,000 metric tons to 50 to 35,000 metric tons? We looked at productivity. Tulitembelea mkulima moja kule Meru ambaye anakuza eka 20 ya kahawa. Mti moja inamsalishia kilo 50. Anaitwa mzee anaitwa Mtwili Karimu, yuko pale. Huyo ndio mzee Mkarimu Natia. Asante. Huyo mzee nataka tumuombe sasa, ni mkurugenzi wa KPCU. Masomo yake ni kwa shamba. Certificate yake ni ile kahawa anasalisha. Kilo 50 kwa mti moja. Wale wamemtembelea wakamuita watembelea. Unamuita tu, hahitaji mambo mingi. Ukimuita kama wewe uko na mbuzi unachinja, akipandia wewe kahawa. Alafu umpatie miaka 2. Tulikuwa na naibu wa rais, akamwambia naibu wa rais, si wewe uko na serikali? Si uko na askari? Ulete wale watu wa CRF na mimi hapa mzee. Na mimi hapa achimbe shimo pale na CRF wachimbe shimo pale. kilos per tree. Akamwambia naibu wa rais, si wewe uko na serikali, wewe ni namba 2 na uko na askari, mimi nataka unipatie shamba yako eka 5 na wale wengine uwapatie eka 5 na utupie miaka 2, alafu ukuje. Isipokupatia hiyo kilo, tuma askari wanishike. That is the confidence of mzee Mkarimu. Sasa asante sana mzee wangu. Tuliangalia vile tutaongeza mazao. Kahawa bado iko. Miruki alisema ama ni chairman. We still have KPCU chair said we still have the coffee trees. What we need is how do we harness, increase production from every tree. And that can, we identified extension services. County government, Mr. Kiringai and your colleagues, persuade and manage. I will be calling and convening CEC's agriculture and cooperative to discuss about productivity and extension services, because truly that is where that responsibility rests. If we employed extension officers in our respective counties, for sure our production will go up. We also looked at inadequate research and technology. Kahawa Coffee Research Foundation haifanyi kazi ama haina pesa ya kuimudu, na tukaona na wakulima wale tulikuwa na wao kule Nairobi Coffee Exchange walisema wakati wa Coffee Board of Kenya, wakati wa Coffee Research Foundation tulikuwa tunatoa ad valorem levy na ilikuwa inakaramia utadisi, uchunguzi na usimamizi wa kahawa. Na pia Coffee Board of Kenya ilikuwa na maofisi mpaka London na ilikuwa inatafuta soko ya kahawa. Wakati tulipoangusha na kuunganisha hiyo mashirika, tukaenda chini kwa mambo ya kahawa. Sisi katika hii mabadiliko tumeanza, tunatafuta njia kupitia bunge kurudisha mashirika haya ambao walikuwa wanasimamia kahawa. Ndio sasa Ruiru na pia ile research iko Meru na Kisii, all the coffee research, Rukoru, all those coffee research foundations are now reinstated so that they can provide extension services to the farmers. We are talking about Coffee Board of Kenya. We surrendered our responsibility as a government or as a people to third parties, profiteers, people who are keen on making money. It is time to restore back the Coffee Board of Kenya so that we can champion the interest of coffee farmers, not just in the traditional markets, but also in the markets, the new emerging markets. Watu kule China wanataka kahawa. Nilikuwa na waziri wa zamani wa ushirika Bwana Jerry Rwiga, alifanya mkataba na wale wa China, na hiyo mkataba ikawekwa kwa shelf. Bado tunatafuta. Nataka nikipata nipatie Coffee Board, KPCU waanze kutafuta wale ndio turudi pale. Kuna watu wanataka kahawa Japan, Jamaica, kahawa yao yote inauzwa kwa soko moja Japan. Sisi tumekuwa tunatafuta soko kule Europa, kule Amerika na wapi. Kuna pia hapa nyuma, hapa Far East kuna soko. Na hiyo kazi itakuwa ya Coffee Board of Kenya. Watakuwa na tuzunguka dunia wakitutafutia soko. Tuko pia na masharti mengi kwa sheria ambayo tumejifunga miguu, tumejifunga mdomo, tumejifunga mikono. Hatuwezi songa, hatuwezi zungumza kwa sababu ya ile mabadiliko. Kuna mtu mmoja alikuja hapa after the collapse of International Coffee Association. When it collapsed, how come? What holds us is disorganized. But look at the OPEC, oil producing, exporting countries. It has been there, it is there, it is always there. How come hii ya kahawa, ile kongamano ya wale wanasalisha kahawa ikafunjwa? Kwa sababu ilikuwa inatetea haki ya mkulima, the producers of coffee. So it is time for us to to also engage with other like-minded producers. Tuko na Colombia, tuko na Brazil, tuko na Ethiopia, tuko na Uganda. Tushikane ndio tuanze kuweka bei ya kahawa vizuri. Sababu, as Pia said, coffee is addictive, oil is not. So wakati wanatuuzia petroli sasa ni shilingi 215 na watu bembelezi na wataki kujua, hata wengine wakileta shida hawataki kujua. Sisi tunataka wakati wanauza mafuta kule, pia sisi tunauza kahawa. Kila mtu akileta bei yake juu, pia sisi tuna nafasi. We have to organize ourselves into coffee producing countries so that we create a voice that will protect the interest of the farmers. The reforms that our members of parliament are truly following, and I'm sincerely grateful, honorable members. And I know we were in Lolongo, and a bill is in Senate. We want to believe it's on fast track so that it comes down. It is engaged, both houses are seized of this matter, and we dispense, because by the time we are releasing this cherry fund, we want to be operationalizing these bills also. We have talked of the coffee bill. I've also dispensed with a cooperative bill. Cabinet passed, it is now between the AG and Parliament. And I want to believe you will give it the highest attention like you have on the other bills. Because, honorable members, if we empowered, if somebody asked me 2 issues that will change this country forever, is agriculture mfukoni. Lakini hizo zikisambaratika, tutakuwa tunalilia serikali saidia, serikali tunataka, lakini kahawa ikiwa. We also looked at financing and the national coffee marketing strategy and quality management and institutional reforms. I've talked about AFA will be licensing the buyers and capital market will license the brokers. So we are forming a regulatory association. Soko yule mwenye anafanya billing na mwenye anauza, the one who is doing the broking and the one who is buying is one person. Waingie katika ile soko. Sasa nyinyi wakulima, the 14 cooperative unions, you have an opportunity to say yes or no. Hapana unakataa kahawa yako isiende kwa soko. Uko na nafasi. Na yule jamaa alikuwa anachukua kahawa yako na kuelezi, sasa we have licensed your unions. Murang'a union iko, Kiambu iko Nyeri, Embu, Meru, almost all the coffee counties are formed unions. Hapo ndio watawatetea na watawasimamia. Those are farmers-led unions. And we expect through those unions, the interest of farmers will be held high. That every time a sale is happening, the first thing is the interest of the farmer. Tumeongezea shilingi 80 ambayo imetangazwa hapa na CEO. This 80 shillings utapata advance ya 40. Alafu ukifikisha kwa wakati unaleta cherry, ukifikisha kwa mila, you will be given another 40 shillings depending on the quality of your coffee. So if your coffee is good, you will get another 40 shillings. So you have 80 shillings. Sasa mwenye ananunua akikwambia hii kahawa ananunua shilingi 50, atakuwa anataka ulipa aje ile shilingi 30 ushachukua. So we are sending a signal on where and signal the market on the price that we want. So anything below 80 means you are on direct loss, and means yes, but I think members themselves are sensitizing themselves. I think the farmers are on this issue and they are well on course. We will promote championing these reforms. So in the Nairobi Coffee Exchange, we've already witnessed an upsurge in participation. All the big buyers have come back. I've seen our prices going to 188 shillings, something we've not had it in a long time. So the reopening on 15th of August by the Deputy President has given the farmers direct access, and we have also had 5 auctions since that time, which is earning us 28,000 per bag or $188 per bag, and we expect the average net payment to be 75. We have also, in the reforms, operationalized direct sales settlement. What does that mean? Wewe ukichukua mkopo ya shilingi 40 na hiyo factory yako ya kahawa ina wafanyikazi, inalipa stima, iko na unanunua ile drying coffee nets, sisal drying beds, we have made also a provision. When we are paying you the cherry fund, we also give the society the administrative cost, and we are pricing it at 5 shillings. So that should be able to take care of all the expenses around. But kuna watu wengine kama mila, transporter, banks and the rest. We are bringing all that to the direct settlement system. Cooperative Bank was appointed through a tender by NSC, and today they have already handled these 5 sales. What that means, wakati ule mwingine mkulima alikuwa anapeleka kahawa yake ikiuzwa, ule jamaa anabaki na pesa yako ikiwa ni dola, na anangojea dola ishuke, anafanya biashara na hiyo pesa anatumia. Sasa tumekupea nafasi, ukitaka ulipwe dola, DSS will settle you in dollars. If you want to be paid in shilling, DSS will settle you in shillings. Na wakati hiyo mauzo inafanyika, the factory, the coffee farmer will be paid direct from the sale. The society will be settled. The miller will be settled. The broker will be settled. And the marketer will be settled at the same time. At the same time. So hakuna kungojeana ama bado inaenda kureflect, sijui bado tunangoja tuna convert. Si wewe unajua kuconvert, kama unajua kulipa utashindwa kuconvert dola iko shilingi. Kama umechunga hii mti mpaka ikasaa, yule jamaa ajue atakahawa inakaa namna gani. Lakini anajua anataka kukufunza, anakaa na pesa yako ndio akufunze vile kubadilisha dola ikuwe shilingi. All those sales will be processed and settled the same time and same day. That is what it means by DSS. And we are already on. We have already done 5 and we're continuing with the 2. We have licensed 134 buyers through AFA. And we have an average of 40 participating in the market. We have licensed grower mills. Kulikuwa na kasheshe hapo mbele, wengine wanasema tumefungia wengine nyuma nje. Wataamua, lakini uchague mmoja. Either you want to be a miller, you want to be a marketer, or you want to be a broker. You cannot be 3 in 1. The farmer at every step. Lakini wewe unalima, uko na estate yako eka 1,000 na utaki ikawa iende kwa fulani KPC wa manani, bado uko na, and they have an opportunity to also build their coffee. So nobody should feel like we have closed the mouth. We are open and we are ready. So ukitaka kufanya biashara ya milling, license utapata, na utapata haraka sana. Ukitaka kufanya ya broking, unaenda capital markets, unapata. Na ukitaka kufanya kununua na kuuza nje, pia utapata. What we will be asking AFA is to compile all lists of people who are exporting, so that no farmer can be fraud, because this system has to work. And if it works, all of us are going to be safe. It will be unfortunate ununue, mtu akupea advance, uchukue kahawa upeleke kwa wengine, alafu ama uuze huko ng'ambo bila kupitia hii mpango tumeweka, itaharibu na hii mpango yote tumefanya itaharibika. Hii sana iko kwa millers na nini, na tukaanzisha tukatuma watu wasukuke na tukapata kahawa ile ilikuwa kwa millers ni karibu gunia 70,000, ingawa tulikuwa tumelezwa ni 200,000. Hiyo ni vita kidogo kidogo tulikuwa tunapigana hapa katikati, lakini sasa tumefaulu. Naamini sasa kila mtu amejua tunataka kuenda mbele. So we have had delegations. The Deputy President was in Belgium and Germany. There was also a ministerial team there and even in Colombia, and we've covered very serious information. So I don't want to repeat about the charity fund. I think the CEO also talked very well about it. The cooperatives bill, I've told you, it is gone beyond cabinet, and we're looking ahead. We're looking forward. There are a few outstanding issues that we may want to align with the members. One of them is the restructuring and modernization of Nairobi Coffee Exchange. Other than what I've announced, we still have a lot to do. We want that exchange. Ule mzungu akiwa Tokyo na yule Kenya kupitia kompyuta bila kufika hapa. That means we have to digitalize and upgrade the trading system if we open up our Nairobi Coffee Exchange. The other issue is to fast track the intervention related to new KPCU, including Meru, Sagana, Kitale, and then the establishment of a capping lab. Tumekuwa tunaambiwa hii kahawa yenu atakifika pale inakuwa AA. 80% of our coffee is AA and AB. And there is no reason people should cheat us. The way and the cooperative society, we now want to onboard all the participants proposing regulation. As early as next week, we were caucusing of the coffee session of paper number of 2023 and enactment of the coffee bill. And I've noted the delays in the Senate. I think we will be asking our majority approval of the National Coffee Development and Marketing Strategy. Is a work in progress document, and if there are anybody who has any ideas, we already have built a caucus team. Please, wakulima, kuna wengine wetu hapa wako na ujuzi, wako na uwezo, wako na mpango mzuri. Tafadhali, milango yetu iko wazi, dirisha yetu iko wazi, tuko tayari kuwapokea. Ndio tupeleke kahawa yetu juu, sababu labda sisi tumejua kiwango fulani na wewe umefanya uchunguzi ukaona njia safi ya kuongeza bei ya kahawa. Tafadhali, hii mlango yetu iko wazi. Wakati tunafanya reforms, please support us, give us those ideas so that we can really push the price. Because the moment we push our price, our production will consequently go up. The upgrading of the coffee lab at Alpha is also important to minimize the risk of rejection at the global markets. In conclusion, while significant progress has been made in revitalizing the coffee subsector and improving the well-being of coffee farmers, there is more work to be done to unlock the full potential of the Kenyan coffee industry. Nakumbuka Uganda walikuwa nyuma yetu. Sorry to mention watu wengine, lakini sasa hivi wamefikia tani 600,000 wakati sisi tumerudi nyumba mpaka 50. Na ile mpango walifanya ilikuwa kongamano ya waheshimiwa wa kaunti, waheshimiwa wa bunge na uongozi kutoka juu, ilipeleka Uganda kutoka tani 80,000 miaka 20 iliyopita mpaka sasa wamefika tani 600,000. They are now the second largest coffee producer in Africa, second to Ethiopia. We lost our position. These reforms we are taking today is to triple and to increase our production to 10 times, because that way we will be able to create employment, create wealth, bring more dollars, and make our country great. The government is fully committed to completing ongoing reforms and pursuing additional initiatives and investment to ensure prosperity of the coffee sector. My ministry is at the forefront on ensuring that our coffee productivity increases from 2 kilos per tree to 15 kilos per tree. Sijui kama tumesikia hiyo. Tukirudi kwa counties yetu, ujumbe ni hii: tuongeze mazao ya kahawa kwa miti moja kutoka kilo 2 ama kilo 1 mahali iko sasa, tuisukume mpaka kilo 15. Ukirudi pale, tujadiliane na tulete mpangilio ya kuongeza mazao. Miti ni ule ule, shamba ni ule ule, na wakulima ni hawa. Tukishikana hivyo tutafikisha. Siwaje tupambane na mambo ya bei hapa, ndio maana tunawapatia bei ya hiyo 50, ndio tuwapatie motisha. Lakini to sustain this, you have to increase production, because tukienda kwa ile masoko ya nje, waheshimiwa wanatuambia hata ikawa ile ni kidogo sana, tukinunua tunanunua kwa soko moja na tunamaliza. So we don't have a voice because our production is very low. If we increase our production, we increase our bargaining power in the world markets. The ministry is in the forefront of ensuring that our coffee productivity increases from that 2 kilo to 15. Lakini mkarimu ameweka hiyo, ameweka hiyo target juu sana, lakini tuanze hiyo 15 nimewawekea, tukitafuta hiyo ya mzee Karimu, tuanze hiyo 15. Tukienda hivyo kila county tutakuwa sawa. So if farmers go back to their coffee farms to increase productivity and register to uptake the government subsidized fertilizer, which is a program we are working on, by patronizing the coffee cherry advance fund, we will surely increase our production. So also, in an effort to increase our availability of our coffee, we have taken equally a vigorous campaign to promote our Kenyan coffee. Recently, tuliona nilikuwa kwa mkutano na balozi wa Amerika, Meg Whitman, katika kule nyumba ya naibu wa rais, na tukazungumza kwa hiyo kikao, naibu wa rais akikuwa mwenyekiti, na tukasikizana mambo mazuri kwamba mwezi huu wa 11 the world leading coffee shop Starbucks CEO will make a conscious, intentional visit to Kenya. And our interest is how we can avail our Kenyan coffee in the over 30,000 shops in America direct, without going to the parties. We want those fellows, when they take coffee, they are taking Kenyan coffee. Hata kama wanaandika jina yao, waandike kwa jina kidogo hapo, produce of Kenya. Hata kama ina jina, at least andika kikombe, is you are drinking a cup of coffee from Kenya. We want to brand and market our coffee. We want to position our coffee in the largest coffee consuming country, America. We are also expecting to see government. So as we do the reforms, we are also looking at opportunities and potential markets and direct engagement so that we can position our coffee. Hata mtu akikataa kubrand to share the brand, at least waandike hii kikombe unakunywa 10% of this cup of coffee inatoka Kenya. Hiyo tutafurahi, sababu hiyo itatupatia jina. That is what we are looking at. So we will be receiving. If there are any ideas you want us to share with them, please, you are invited. We have my office, Mother is here. Mother Mwai is there. The Commissioner's office, KPCU, the PS office, all these offices. KPCU is here. And then we have a caucus which will receive all that. So ukiwa na hii safari sio ya serikali peke yake. Na hii safari ni kuinua na kuimarisha kahawa. Kwa hivyo is a team, as a team looking for improvement of the coffee sector. We welcome you to write, to email, to WhatsApp, I believe, and even visit us. Give us this information. We can create a depository area so that we can improve our coffee. So mine was to share with you what we've done, what we are going to do, and what we are left to do. So with those many remarks, wakulima wetu, wacha tuwatakie heri, wacha tuwatakie heri kwa hii kongamano, na naamini tukimaliza tutakuwa tumepata njia mwafaka ya kuinua kahawa yetu. Mwisho pia ni kuhakikishia kwamba rais wetu William Ruto na naibu wake Rigathi Gachagua walitoa ahadi wakati walikuwa wanatafuta serikali, na wakulima wakawasikia, na wamejitoa kuhakikisha kwamba mkulima anasaidika. Kwa hivyo ile tunafanya sasa hivi ni kutafuta mbinu, lakini mahali tunataka ni kule mbele. So tukishikana pamoja hivyo, tutakuwa tunasaidia rais to deliver his promise and to improve the welfare of our farmers. With those many remarks, thank you so much and God bless you.
Thank you, our Cabinet Secretary. I know we are pressed for time. We had made some time for plenary questions in the presence of the CS and our members of Parliament. I will seek his indulgence on how much time we have so that we can just take the quick plenary sessions. Wakulima wako na maswali kwa sababu ilikuwa stakeholder engagement. Wakulima tunaweza keti. The KPCU team, you can set up a few chairs here. CS, how many minutes of your time do we take for the plenary? 4 questions. Okay. We'll get a question from the estate farmer, questions from the cooperatives. Yes. So, wacha tujipange. KPCU team, CS, as they set up the seat. You know, I'm a believer in the Bible. And there was a blind man who was healed. Jesus opened his eyes. And the scholars came to ask whether he really was blind. And he said, all those questions you're asking me, I don't know. All I know is I was blind, but now I see. That picture there, CS, is the picture of my daughter. My daughter said she wanted to get an iPhone. And I told her, you go to the farm, pick as much coffee as you can. Multiply by 80 and work out what kind of a phone you want. I think wakulima, watoto wetu pia wanasikiza. Wanajua tunalima, tuwalipie school fees, tuwanunulie madawa, tuwalishe, na pia wakitaka kitu kama simu, solution iko kwa shamba. Na watoto wetu ndio watakuja kuimarisha hii ukulima ambayo tunang'ang'ana nayo. So I want to ask Commissioner, my MP DMM, our chair of the caucus, the PS, the MD of KPCU, the CEO of NCE, if you can quickly just occupy those seats. CS, if you don't mind, you can join them. We can take a round of questions, pressing questions. As our CS has said, his office is open, new KPCU office is open, the Commissioner's office is open. His office is also open to receive questions even after this. So if you don't mind, you have a question, Pesh. So, CEO. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah. Yes. We need mics. New KPCU team, we can have mics going round. Yes. CEO of Nairobi Coffee MDs. Chairman, you can join them please. Professor Kiringai, on behalf of county government. From Nyeri, Waziri Washehe, thank you for coming. Let's clap for our Waziri in Nyeri County. Okay, we can start. Yes, a question. I'll take a question from that side, from the middle here, and from this side. And then I can also take a question from Mheshimiwa Wandeto. Angeline, choose that side. Chairman, yes.
Thank you very much, our moderator, and I want to be accused not to first of all go straight to a question and say one word about the contribution made by our CS. So the CS, the MPC, CPS, and other protocols, and also Professor Care. As a chairman of NACWA, I really want to appreciate what the department has done, particularly the cooperative, starting from the executive, going down to the CS. You have really done much on our CS, and we owe you a lot. We know how much we have traveled together. You have done so much for us, and thank you very much. So far, so good. We will move together, as you say, better, and we shall all achieve. Your vision is almost the same as our vision. My first clarification is about now the sharing of 40 shillings per cherry of coffee, and another 40 coming in, and another 20 going up according the grades. And as the MD concluded this one, he talked of the period that we need to establish to start applying. This one is very crucial and critical, and this is actually where farmers need to accept. I have already accepted this, and we look at the period. The MD talked of about, he said 2 weeks or 2 months. And normally when we start picking coffee to the date that the coffee is ready to be delivered, or to acquire enough coffee to start now applying, goes even to the extent of about two months. So what I wanted to really, also bring up to my fellow farmers is the money is not only 40 shillings, it goes beyond that. Because by the time you are applying for the first 40 shillings, you already be having now some coffee, and within time it will have to get to the stores of KPCU. So another 40 shillings will come. Let's accept this because it is what the government has given us. We really appreciate, because we can have it. We have been having problems with NC, with the marketing, and with this we feel we can still manage. We have a board meeting tomorrow, NACU meeting, and I know we shall rush that and get over. The period is very crucial because it appears like within the first 3 months, most of the coffee, the advance will have been paid. I come to the issue of KPCU. Thank you very much, MD, once again. You talked of NACU and MD going to an MOU, but one question is the status right now is a little bit complicated, and like I said before you came, is we are glad KPCU has come up as the main drive of the Kenyan marketing of coffee. let's go down and assist KPCU establish their warehouses. This has been mentioned several times, about 600 million. The Parliament members, please assist KPCU to get this money. The reason why I come straight to that is I'm requesting the CS to consider the amount of money spent by the union to put up the mills at the county levels. A lot of money, a lot of millions going to almost billions. This could go to waste if the current scenario whereby the KPCU are also allowed to mill will come in. We would like to participate and do business with KPCU as warehouses. They are coming in as the people in charge of the control. This is very good. It is well established when the collateral, that means the collateral is very well established when the coffee is in form of parchment. We will bring all our coffee. We will bring all our coffee to KPCU, but let's probably from the next season agree, we clear the mess that is there, that has been created by the market. But let's come up very strongly and agreement be made, whereby the milling is left to the unions, so that they can be able even to pay these loans and whatever. Okay. And again, you go to the reforms, that is actually the recommendation.
Allow me, Chairman, to...
Yes, I know.
To let the team take those ones. And I know we have a good engagement between KPCU and the unions. So a lot of those things, I'm sure, MD, you have had and you have taken. We can go to another question. I want us to limit ourselves only to questions, brief questions, because as CS has said, this is a continuous engagement. I'll take from that table. Mr. Murray.
Thank you. My name is Peter Murray of the PEM Estate. I have got two questions. Number one is going directly to Principal, because she is one in the NCE, and the farmers should be informed that they may know more about NCE, because as to the farming, the challenge is only the sale. If the sale is settled, farmers will really appreciate it. Now, for you to get the coffee to the auction, and even the word auction actually is not very good, because actually we know actually what they do. We talk about, you normally get about 9 kilos of our coffee from the mills. And the same thing what the minister have said, that 3 beans are enough to make a cup. Taking 9 kg and become a sample to the NC should be reduced. The other thing is that we as estate farmers, the coffee that we normally take to the mills, actually we take the parchment. So the conversion, sometimes I understood that green coffee normally get about 7 kilos to make a cherry. I don't know whether that you have established that formula, that once we are taking the coffee to the mill, we are sure that we are getting that conversion, then we will be bribe by what we are talking about, 80%.
Thank you.
With those few questions, I'm satisfied.
Thank you.
Going to look.
Another question this side. I need a lady. Wamama hawakukuja leo. Walituma wazee. Okay. Chairman Kemeregwe, Kirinyaga, I'll come back here. I have seen you. Oh, what did it? Chairman, kama microphone haifanyi.
Okay, asante sana. Samson Mureithi Muriuki, Chairman Kiberegu FCS, na mimi ndiye Vice Chairman wa Kirinyaga na brokerage. Nimesikia MD amesema habari ya shilling. Na huko mashinani, everybody knows the government is paying 80 shilling. Now the version that has changed immediately. MD, please. kwa sababu ile maneno sasa umeongea leo sio ile tumesikiza kutoka kwa naibu rais. Ulisema naibu rais alisema 80. Sasa wewe umekana sisi really wakulima wale wamesikiza naibu rais akisema 80. Would you come back to, na for sure kama Kilimanjaro tuko na Meru yetu. I support chairman of NAC. Amesema why KPCU inakuja kuomba kahawa ile sisi bado tunasiaga. Na sisi kahawa yetu hii miuzi yetu tutapeleka wapi?
Thank you for that question. I'll take the last question, round of question. Let me allow mzee Mamboleo huko nyuma. Mzee wa huko Mount Elgon ndio to balance regional balance. Watu ya Baringo bado sijawasahau after na Embu.
Asante sana waziri. Mimi ni Amos Mamboleo, Chairman wa Mount Elgon Farmers Cooperative Union. Nataka niulize swali kuhusu mambo ya DSS. Mjetueleza sasa mambo ya DSS kupitia Cooperative Bank, how long will it take mkulima aweze kupata pesa?
Let me allow those questions to Hannah. I asked the two more. Okay. Baringo.
Our chief guest, CS Chelukui, members of parliament present. My name is Yatish Mark from Baringo. I have about 2 questions, but let me ask one that I think is extremely important. Now, the issue of cherry fund, the first 40 shillings is at cherry level. And when Madam Lisba talked about the process of coffee, she talked about contractual obligations by the grower. Now, the first cherry fund will be at factory level. Now, the second one will be based on coffee that has already been milled, so that we can be able to know which one is P1 and which one is P2 and which one is so how or who will recommend and who will carry this contractual obligation? Will it be at the factory level, and when it comes up to milling level, who will carry this contractual obligation for the second level? Because it will have now gone to the mill. So who will recommend for the farmer?
Thank you very much, Bwana Wasili. I'm Wifensi Ochero from Embu, the chairman of the union. Now my question is, first of all, let me thank you for the government to subsidize the fertilizer. The fertilizer is not enough. We also need to subsidize the farm inputs. A kilo of copper comes to over 2,000 shillings. Please try to consider that. The other thing is the 4 billion, Bwana Wasili. The 4 billion, the 4 billion can only be consumed by either one county or 2 counties. So actually the budget of the whole country should be from that 4 billion goes to even that 7 billion. The 4 billion is just a drop in the ocean, tafadhali, so consider that. The other thing is offsetting the roads owned by the coffee mills, even the societies on the grounds. Please consider writing off, because there are cases where the head of the state has considered writing off the loans to various crops. So try to consider even the cooperative societies and even the coffee mills. There are so many of the union who has the outstanding bills. The issue of the fertilizer, in fact, we are happy for that. But now come that these societies should be brought directly to the cooperative societies, and it should be timely. Look at now, 1717 is not yet, and the time is going out. Please try to consider bring the fertilizer at the right time. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I ask these questions on behalf of the farmers. Maybe just for points of clarification. For me, the first one is how do we ring fence this money coming to the cooperative so that it is not caught up in the current cooperative debt. Because we know some of our factories and cooperatives wako na madeni. Hautaki 40 shillings imefika, hii ya chere ya kwanza na inahitaji kusaidia mkulima kuvuna, sasa imeenda kwa madeni. Ya pili, na there's some potential confusion, na ni vizuri yule rafiki yetu wa Kirinyaga amerisa, and we need to think about it. Because kahawa hii cherry ya 40 hiyo ni clear, hiyo iko easy, that one is straightforward. Shida itakujia hii ya pili, hii 40 na 20 na 10. Kwa sababu mkulima wakati alivuna kahawa, yeye anapeleka kahawa yake ikiwa kilo 50, kilo 100, kilo 1000. Hiyo story nyingine ya kugawanyisha ni sisi tunajua. Sasa mahesabu ikifanywa labda kama ni average itafanywa, mkulima anaweza kapata labda 60, 47, 48, 53 depending na meal. Nafikiri hapo tunahitaji tuongeleshe wakulima wetu mapema, tena wasifikirie kama tuliwachenga. Inatoka DSS kwa wale wa cooperatives, wale wanauzia through NCE, na pesa ingine ya wale wanafanya direct sales, nusu kahawa pande hii na nusu pande hii. Sasa again hiyo inaweza kachanganya cooperatives zetu ku aggregate. So I think those are maybe just a point of clarification, especially from KPCU, on how we handle those three issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Nitajaribu kujibu maswali na niombe ruhusa kwa sababu niko na swala katika ile kamati ya baraza la mawaziri ambayo nataka kwenda kuitetea. So nitawaomba ruhusa, lakini waje nijibu yale ambayo naweza nijaribu. Kuna hii mambo ya malipo. Nafikiri bwana managing director wa KPCU atakuwa na nafasi nzuri aeleze hii malipo ya shilingi 40. Na nishukuru na pia ile parchment. Na nishukuru mwenyekiti wa Kiberigwe. Yeye alikuja ofisi yangu. Kwa wakulima nimepeana 50 shillings. Na alafu iko gharama ya fertilizer, iko gharama ya factory, imekuja around sasa tayari niko na deni ya shilingi 20 ambayo sielewi nitalipia wapi. So part of this reform, part of the energy that I drive, that drives me, is what the statement, the agony I saw when he came to my office and sat the whole afternoon wondering what to do. Because alisema wakulima sasa wanafukuzwa kamati na machairman, watu wanafikiria hao ndio wanakula pesa. Lakini ukweli ni kwamba bei inaenda, unafanya vizuri ukitarajia mambo mazuri, lakini ukifika mauzo bei inateremka chini, society inawachwa na deni. Ndio maana wengi wamefungwa. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka CEO ajibu hiyo. Kwa mambo ya masiku vile Ngone amesema, we are trying to balance to consolidate the amount of coffee. Because tukilipa kila siku, tuseme mkulima amelete kilo 10, kesho alete kilo 5, kesho yake alete kilo 20. Ukimlipa kila siku, kwa maoni yangu naona mkulima atapata tu pesa, atakuwa nayo inaisha, hata hakuna kitu atafanyia. Lakini tukikutanisha, inategemea vile mtaona, sababu hii cherry advance can use the phone, can use M-Pesa, can use many ways. So the issue of payment is actually a decision we can take. But it was our advice that tukutanisha kahawa kama amelete wiki mbili na amelete imekuwa kiasi kidogo, anaweza pata pesa kiasi, pesa ambayo inaweza msaidia kumlipia hata mtoto yake shule, ama alipie agharamie kitu fulani. lakini tukilipa kila siku, hiyo ni swali ambao tumejadiliana tukiona maslahi ya mkulima. Lakini hii kongamano pia mtoe maoni. Mambo ya fertilizer ni mazungumzo, kuna mazungumzo kati ya wizara yangu na wizara ya kilimo, na tayari ile fertilizer ya 17 ilikuwa imeagizwa. Shida ni kwamba pia inatumiwa na watu wa mahindi, sasa inashindaniwa. So tunataka mazungumzo ile tuko nayo sasa hivi ni hii fertilizer sikiletwa sipitie njia ambayo it is protected, it is ring-fenced for coffee farmers and not commingled with other crops, so that the coffee sector is also supported. Nikizungumzia mambo ya KPCU, I hold the policy responsibility, na sitaki kuua ile mills ya unions wamegharamia, wamejenga. Embu Union ingawa iko na deni pale Kivutiri, yuko Kipkelion, uko Nyeri, uko Murang'a, tarehe 12 tutakuwa pale. Hiyo mills yote hatutaki kufunga. So what I want and I will do ni KPCU, being a collateral manager of the Jerry advance, will sign a memorandum of understanding, an agreement, so that you provide the milling and KPCU will do the warehousing. So it is, so that it is going to be a win-win. You will mill your coffee, make your income from milling, and take the coffee parchment, clean coffee, to KPCU mills, where now they use it to secure the Jerry advance. That is the arrangement we are going to put in place. I think for RISPA you will speak for yourself. Samson Muredi nimekujibu kiasi, hata ile swali la 40-40. The issue, asante sana chairman, vice chair, yeah. Chairman wa Kiberigwe, na anajaribu, nilimwacha akiwa na factory 3 ama 4, na anatoa kilo milioni 2.5 million kilos in those 3 factories. Nafikiri ameenda juu kiasi sasa. So he is working hard. Hata wale wathiririka mpaka wazungu wanakuja. Sasa kuna watu wamefanya kazi, shida ni hii bei. So on this issue of 40-40, wacha nataka MD aende taratibu, awaeleze vile how we distribute. But you also know that coffee is graded. Kuna ile kahawa mbuni, bei yake sio kama ile AA. Kuna ile ya kahawa ya titi, sio the same na AP. So we need to just agree on a formula. Mr. Mamboleo kutoka Mount Elgon, on the DSS, how long will it take for the farmer to receive their money? I want to tell you, the farmer will receive their money on the same day the sale is happening. It is settled, as no coffee will be released before receipt of payment. Mkulima alipo pesa yake, mila alipo pesa yake, siku hiyo hiyo. So the day is 0. Sales day plus 0. That is the selling, the period. And at the same time, kama kuna any, on all those who have been captured, so list per here as a job to do, to ensure akipeleka kwa soko, kama ulikuwa umechukua advance, report imepatikana, so that the recovery is done instantly. Unaona pale kwa supermarket, kuna supermarkets wengine wanachukuanga vitu kwa deni, na wakati una swipe, ukipeleka maziwa pale, ina swipe, wakati inaingiza pesa kwa system, inatuma kwa Brookside ama Meru Central, inatuma ingine kwa transporter, inatuma ya balance kwa supermarket. Kila mtu anamalizana. Ile shida ya watu wanangojeana ndio imeleta kuanguka kwa supermarkets, ndio imeleta hasara kwa watu wa biashara ndogo. Hiyo ndio tuna avoid. I think the other issue that I think I need to answer on the issue of fertilizer, I've answered. The issue and the amount, 4 billion. 4 billion truly is a drop in the, is in circulation. We have 2 billion in the account. We are expecting the 4 billion which was approved. So that will make a total of 6.7. And still, that is lower than 10 for the sale of his coffee. When the coffee is sold, hii pesa ingine unalipwa. So we are calling it an advance. It is not a payment. So advance, ndio ukiuza kawa yako unapata pesa. And it is also called revolving. It's revolving because tukiuza hiyo pesa inarudi. Bilioni 15 tulipewa na serikali. Sasa hii tumefika 38 billion. Unajiuliza ilifika aje? Because it is revolving. Tunapeana, ukirudisha tunapea mwingine. So it revolves around. Oranga. Wengine wanakuja mpaka cereals kule Madira na shamba yao iko kule nini? Tomotomo uko juu. Unakuta wale watetu wanakuja wanaenda mpaka Kiganjo. So hiyo safari ni mrefu. Na ikipitia kwa society taji kunia 2. Huyu mkulima ako na eka 10 anahitaji kunia 5. Sasa society becomes our reference point. I will push for that idea so that society take commitment. Alafu mwisho Mheshimiwa Wandeto. No, pia offsetting the loans with societies and iliulizwa na Bwana Njeru. Hiyo ni swali ambao tunazungumzia wakati huu. Tuna compile those debts and bills. We compile all those and we look at how the scenario, how it's looking. I have no words or I cannot say anything at the moment, and because it's something that needs to be canvassed and pursued even beyond my ministry. So we first want to see the picture, how the debts, the exposure we are in. Nikimalizia, Mheshimiwa Wandeto, the reinforcement of the cherry fund from any debts. I want to assure you, Mheshimiwa, these funds are going direct to the farmer. And we are, the societies, they are not going to be commingled with any loans. We have secured this from the largest lender, cooperative bank. This cherry fund is free from any other funds, free from any other loans. And that, I think that question keeps on coming. I will be seeking for a written undertaking from the bank so that we don't, because it will be a disaster to avail the advance and then it is now taken up. On the phase 1 and phase 2, again, that's a question of the CEO, and the issue of DSS is, are the farmers able to sell direct and still go through the auction? And I want to, the law, the regulations now allows for that, but up to a maximum of 15%. If you are doing direct sales, it allows you up to 15%. And then the rest are going through the auction. This was meant to protect people who take over the stock exchange, cartels who takes over the stock exchange, so that the farmers are on a route to market without having compromised or things of people taking over the auction. So if that happens, then this is what what will happen. If you are going to sell your coffee direct and you took an advance, then you need to go to AFA, who issue you export license. You record. You need to, so that before these things are exported, AFA will insist on you to record that you took an advance, so that at the time of sale, and the person who is going to buy is recovered, so that we don't lose and deplete the fund. If you go through the auction, then the procedure applies. So I think those are my answers to the questions. Let me give the mic to the other people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I'm very sure that we all listened to my presentation. Chairman, I want to draw your attention to the screens. This was the production for the year 21-22. If you look at the total production for clean coffee, it was 51.8 million. If you work backwards to cherry, it is 337 million. We have tabled that and worked out if we are to give all that and at 80 shillings. It comes to, you'll agree with me, if we gave out at 80 shillings, your society alone, because I know your production, will take half of it. What will Chairman Mamboleo take? So we had to, na hii ni mapendekezo tu tulikuwa nayo, so that hii pesa which about we did, it was coming to about 26 billion. Hii pesa kwa kweli haiwezi tosha, because what we have is 6.7 mpaka imefika 1 billion. The 740 as we speak, it is 1 billion now in our books because of the revolving nature. Plus now the additional 4 billion. I'm sure wakulima, hiyo 6 billion against 26 billion haitatosha nyinyi wote. Ni kweli? Huu ifikie kila mkulima, irudi, izunguke tena hivyo hivyo, kwa sababu that is the essence of revolve. Ongea leo tunakuja kujadiliana, sisi tunawaambia vile tutafanya, ni tuwaambie hiyo ndio itakuwa kwa account. Tukipata hiyo 4 billion itakuwa yote 6 billion. Mnataka ama mapendekezo yenu pia ni yapi? Ni kweli? Hatuwezi sema hata Mboni tutaipatia 80, to be honest. Na mimi mnajua nyinyi wakulima. Jadiliane, mtupatie mapendekezo, tutarudi pia tufanye hiyo hesabu. Na yale mapendekezo mmetupatia na pia yale tumewapatia tukue. The other bit was the issue of what I had mentioned on direct sales, and not all sales are going through DSS, especially the direct.
Due to one reason or another, one of the main reasons being either the grower data or incorrect codes, and that's why when I was making my presentation I was very persistent about the grower data. And we are working towards transitioning within 1 year in a manner that will enable us all to achieve that efficient settlement.
Sorry, then this point I'd forgotten. Remember, new KPCU now is Rainforest Alliance certified. If you have certified coffee, and I know most of the some of the societies are certified, you can't mill. I know you can't mill with a non-certified mill. That is also a reason where you could also consider just coming and milling with a certified miller. Then also, remember we are in a place where government has concerted its efforts to look for markets. If, for example, a buyer says, I received samples from Muranga, I'm happy with this sample, I need these bags. Then you're under pressure to mill. Then also that becomes, remember we have also advanced the farmer, then that becomes another ground where we are happy to partner. In this case, we are partnering, right? We are partnering, we are not domineering. We are partners in this thing. Thank you.
One of the things that may be helpful as we go forward, which may become necessary to be discussed, particularly by the unions, is the essence of branding our coffee separately from Kenyan coffee. We may want to look for reasons to actually just use one blood and have a standard way of production so that we are able to deliver the same product to the external market with your name, of course, embedded there, but showing that it's a Kenyan product. That persuasion may be important, particularly now that we are talking about if we are having a new KPCU having to mill for a few of us, maybe it makes sense for us to actually have as much as possible what we want to be rainforest certified, to actually go out with a standard. We can have a similar feeling when the client receives our product or the consumer receives our product. Thank you.
Thank you for that round of questions. We can take one more round of questions. Thank you. We start now from that table. The gentleman there has been raising his hand for a long time.
Hello. Asante. Majina yangu ni Alan Deuri kutoka Trans Nzoia. Swali hili la kwanza kwa sababu waziri ashatoka na ilikuwa nataka kudirect kwake kwa sababu ilikuwa kumsupport MD wetu kuhusu pesa hizi ambazo ni chache. Watu ambao ni wa kuuza ama kulima sukari walipewa over 170,000 wakalipiwa madeni yao. Kwa nini sisi kahawa ambayo inaleta foreign exchange serikali haingeweza kutupa hiyo 26 billion iwe revolving fund na iweze kusaidia mambo haya mengine yote? So nilikuwa natarajia waziri akiwa hapa, lakini kwa vile bwana Eric yuko hapa, naamini ya kwamba anaweza ongea na deputy president wetu waweze kuona kama serikali wa kahawa tunaweza kusapotiwa na pesa ambazo zinaweza kusaidia nyuma, na hii itatusaidia. Jambo lingine nafikiri hapo MD umenielewa. Jambo lingine ni kuhusu wakati wa NPK ni sasa, na tuliambiwa na MP nafikiri from Orana ya kwamba hizi reforms ambazo tuliongea Meru ni zianze si tena kupanga mipango. Kama basi zitaanza kufanya wakati huu hii NPK ingesambazwa kwa societies ili tuweze kusaidika mwezi huu wa 11. Jambo lingine ambalo linahusu mambo ya regulation. Hizi regulations ambazo zilikuwa zimependekezwa na nikaona zimeanza labda ziko kwa Senate kuhusu miaka ya uongozi katika cooperative society. Mimi nimetoka Kiungani Cooperative Society Trans Nzoia. Wengi wetu tumekaribia miaka hiyo ya 70, na kwa hivyo kama hii itakuwa ni sheria, mimi nilikuwa napendekeza hii mambo ya kurudi Nairobi inacheleweshanga mambo mengi sana, kwa sababu lazima commissioner wa Nairobi aidhinishe, and yet we are in the new dispensation ya katiba mpya. So kwa mambo ya regulation, wabunge wetu kama mngehakikisha kwamba kama ni kufanya immediately tuanze kufanya immediately, lakini tukiendelea kuchelewesha watu wetu watakufa moyo. Hii mambo ya 80 shillings nafikiri imeshaongelewa kabisa. Watu wetu hata huko kwangu wanajua sasa ni 80 shillings, na hiyo ndio wanatarajia. So majibu haya bwana MD nzuri, muangalie vile mtaweza kutujibu, kwa sababu hii italeta jam kwa sisi ambao ni viongozi upande ule. Asanteni sana.
I think we'll take 2 more questions. Wakulima, tunasahau pande hii.
Hatujasahau pande hii.
Lunch.
Mimi naitwa toka Kiambu. Mimi nataka President alitueleza tutapata 80. Arudi kwa TV aseme ni 40. Jambo la kwanza, mimi nimepatia wakulima wako fertilizer. Nimewapea dawa na pesa haipitii, na pesa itatumwa direct kwa mkulima. How will I determine kahawa yake ilikuwa P1 ama P2 ama P3? Nitajua namna gani? Na mimi ndio wamenichagua, ndio wanaangalia, ndio niweze kuwaelezea kahawa yako imekuja hivi. Kwa hivyo muifanye standard, muifanye standard, iwache kukua ati tunaingilia kwa P1 na P2. Jambo lingine, with the current market ya kahawa ile iko hata 40 tunaweza pata. Nisipa ujibu hiyo, kama hiyo soko iko. Jana tulikuwa kwa soko, tuliona vile ilikuwa. Hata 40 kupata shida, utueleze iko namna gani?
Asante sana. Tusirudie hiyo swali tena, imeulizwa, na kama uko na swali tofauti ambayo haijaguzwa, uko na tofauti, sijui how many more questions? 3 more. Wacha tutumie demokrasia, kwa sababu lazima tukule na tuende nyumbani, kwa sababu ofisi ya KPCU na ya waziri na ya PS it is open even after this. Na vile tulisema, kulima nataka mjue, hii ni mapendekezo. Kama uko na idea mzuri, tunataka ulete. Msikuwe tu watu wa kuleta maswali na hamleti majibu, kwa sababu nyinyi ni viongozi. Si mkutano ni ya viongozi na wakulima. Si pia nyinyi mko na formula, mnajua inaweza gawa hii 7 billion ifurahishe kila mtu. Si mko na idea? Sababu 7 billion ndio imepewa wakulima wa kahawa. Hata tukishinda hapa tukiulizana maswali na msitupatie solution, tutapatiana hiyo 80 kaunti moja iishe. Na ndio waziri alisema ofisi yake ya PS, ya KPCU, ya commissioner, and this is the commissioner's table. We are here to receive your suggestions. So let's take 3 questions and suggestions, and we close and we wait for your written proposals, right?
Thank you. My name is Peter Gekonyo. I'm a smallholder farmer from Murang'a and also the chairman of the Kenya Coffee Producers Association. My quick rejoinder is on the issue of the cherry advance, which is 80. So basically for us, consider with ourselves on the amount of the money, but we want to look at the 80 is what was given to us. So the formula would be very easy. If we are talking about the advance based on the cherry, because the farmer knows about the cherry, so let us then use the proportion. And what do I mean? If 40 shillings, assuming all our coffees is in parchment 1, therefore what we are supposed to do is to take the conversion ratio of the cherry to the parchment, then put that as a factor of the conversion. Because the effective rate of the parchment 1, which is 40, is coming to around 10 shillings. So it will be a big fight with the cooperative leaders and the farmers. So for me, we need to take the conversion ratio, assuming it is 5%. Then it means if you have 5 kilos of cherry making 1 kilo of parchment, then that should be the factor. So when you divide that, then you multiply that factor so that then you convert it into the cherry. Thank you.
Let us clap for our chairman. Huyu mzee ameinua mkono sana. Asante.
Asante sana. Hii ni ya MD ama chairman KPCU. Thank you for the opportunity being given or granted.
No. So I can go and charge
chairman for Muslim Cooperative Society from Machakos. I have this concern about how we are going to come to the process to cherry fund. Huko kwa ground, apart from it being given, imekuwa siasa ambapo wale wa civil society ambazo hazileti kahawa KPCU, kuna siasa ambazo zinazifanya wale wako kwa ground, when you are representatives of the ground, are taking it political, which is endangering our governance and uongozi wetu kwa society. Wengi wenu wafanyikazi wanazipeleka kama siasa. Ningetaka MD usikize vizuri. Some of your workers down there, field officers, wametuengage kwa siasa. Kawa it is do or die. Wana influence wakulima, msipeleke kama kamati yenu ilete kawa kwa KPCU, hakuna kitu cha KPCU mtapata. So I would, now that we are doing it as brothers, as we have said, najua ukimalizia uliongea vizuri sana. Let's tackle it as a business which is not just do or die. Kuangalia vile siasa wafanyikazi wenu watapunguza kwa ground wakiitisha kahawa, kwa sababu wanaitisha ni kama do or die. Wengine wanasema kama amuleti kahawa kwetu hatuwapatii hii cherry fund. Kwa hivyo that has been a politics down there. And now when we are getting to the process of doing it, tungetaka hata nyinyi watu wengi wengine kutoka kwa KPCU wakuje ground waongeleshe wakulima vizuri ili tufanye biashara pamoja. It is done in hostile, very political. Asante.
Thank you. Let me allow the panelists to answer that question. We are going to have one chairman pray. Chairman, wewe ndio utaombea chakula ukiwa na hiyo swali yako ama comment. We will have one more person give a vote of thanks, and then we will receive all your written proposals at KPCU, at the CS's office, at the PS's office, and at the Commissioner's office. That's okay? Chairman, MD?
I think naona Chairman Mara pia ametoka. Remember tulisema hii ni mapendekezo. Kwa hivyo kama uko na formula nyingine mzuri itatusaidia kugawanisha hii 6 billion. Wacha we are ready to discuss so that and I like what the chairman said. We work backwards at the parchment level. Probably that would be one of the solutions that would be engaging further. But remember, wakulima, hii pesa ni 6.7. Mkitaka tupatiane at 80 ni sawa, lakini muangalie itafikia nani na nani. Wacha tuangalie hiyo maneno yote. Hatuna pesa. Kama tungekuwa na mingi, hata pengine tungeenda over and above. Na hii ni advance because there is the final payment which if it goes over and above, hiyo pesa bado ni inarudi kwa mkulima. So Bwana Mara, pia ningekuuliza kama unaweza kuwa na another formula. We are ready to sit down with you before hii tangazwe hadharani na Deputy President ama CS ama yule kiongozi mwingine, tutangaze kile mkulima kile what makes sense even to the farmer and is actual or it is feasible in terms of the operation. Chairman, sijui kama ni Chairman Mwisuni, nimekusikia. Hatutaki kuifanya as a do or die. I think nitaongea na staff wako kama walikuwa aggressive kwako, pole sana. Pengine tu ni hali ya kutafuta biashara kwa sababu yeye yuko kwa field. Lakini it's not a matter of do and die. So kama walikuwa offend, pole sana, nitaongea na wao. I think hiyo tu ndio niko nayo kwa sasa. Over to you, MC.
Thank you very much. Mtamaliziwa chakula. Chairman Bahama, give a vote of thanks as you give your comment. huyu mzee mwingine hapa aombee chakula as he gives his comment, and we break na tutangojea your proposals. Chairman.
Thank you. My name is Maina Muredi from Nyeri. For me, I would like to just to pass a post of thanks and to assist Bwana Timothy. Let the grower who is the primary society come with the program. They would like for you to approve and to be able to be sustainable to the farmers, because we all grow coffee at different times. In Machakos, they grow at a different time, in Nyeri at a different time. Sit down with the primary cooperative, maybe get 20 shillings advance for picking, an advance in January for school fees, and then we wait for the coffee to be sold. To me, the farmer will have gotten 40 shillings, and that way now, you do not have to look for P1, P2, P3. Finally, my vote of thanks is to thank NKPCU, the CS, for inviting us for this function, to washukuru kwa hiyo kazi mzuri, and we are happy that now we are a government that is remembering that farmers can make a decision on the table. We can sit and discuss and make a decision. For that reason, the new KPCU, with the Sheriff and our honorable members of parliament and the CS, we are really happy as farmers to be able to sit on the same table, and you are now requesting for our input. You are not telling us what you do, you are requesting for input. So we want to thank you very much. We want to thank the farmers for coming, and we hope that our great road, as we move on and we are discussing, will get a final way so that we can support our Deputy President on the same. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Where is my prayer partner? Amanda. Okay, Madam Irene, you can pray for the food. Oh, okay. Madam Angeline, you can guide the farmers how they will get their fare after this. Maybe you can pray for the food.
Okay. Thank you. We will give thanks for the food. Our dear Heavenly Father, we want to come before your throne this afternoon to thank you and to honor your name for who you are. Thank you for such a time like this that you have given us, oh Father. We want to thank you for our government, for the endeavor that they have for us. We cannot take it for granted. We also want to thank you, Lord, for the organizers of this event. We place them in your able hands. Help them, Father, to achieve all the deliberations that we have discussed. Before us, oh Father, there is a plate of food. We want to give thanks even as we feed physically, and we know we depend on you for our spiritual feeding. Thank you even as we partake of it. Remember those who do not have and are suffering, that they may also have your provision. This we thank you, even as we lift up your holy name, for it is in Jesus' name we do pray. Amen. Amen.
Asanteni sana wakulima, tuko na team ya KPCU pale mwisho. They are going to be facilitating us for our transport. God bless you.
Thank you.